Good to see you, Chris. What a wonderful experience that Dabble House was.
Oh, thank you. We had a lot of fun in Florida. And I need you to turn up your microphone by a lot.
Yeah, How's that? That's much better, right?
No.
No, okay. All right.
Crank it, baby.
There we go. How's that?
All right, now it's a little overmodulated. So you got to go down just a little bit. All right, talk a little bit.
Hey. At the 1:45 to 2 today.
I didn't say whisper into the microphone. Can you talk a little bit?
That is pretty hot,
out?
but...
Hey. How's it going?
All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you're going to stay on mic, that will work.
Yes,
Okay.
the levels
I
look
will
all right.
try
If you're
my
going to
best.
relax and back away, crank it.
I'm never comfortable, so don't worry.
Preaching the choir, buddy.
You do give off that vibe.
I know. Unsettled.
Unsettled. Did someone ever write that in a review or something? You just remembered that term?
No.
I can see that like haunting you your whole career.
No, I'm self-aware. I agree with most criticism about myself.
The term awkward gets bandied about too much. Unsettled. Missy B.
Missy B is here. How's everyone doing? We're fantastic, Missy B. Missy B made a wonderful meal for Jenny Jingles and I.
Aw.
What did she make?
It's
Producer Chris's favorite.
it's a Marry Me Chicken.
What?
It's a pasta dish, like a lemony, garlicky, oil-based thing with chicken and pasta.
With a diamond ring in the middle.
No, it's fantastic. If you swallow that, it's good luck.
At what point in the cooking process do you put the beer can on the chicken? Twist. I don't know. I'm not a chef.
Adam, you're quiet again. How does this happen? I swear to God, it
I
happens
haven't
every
touched
time.
anything.
I know.
You suck.
Can
I'm
you
just standing here
crank-
like this.
Okay. Are you
That will
good
hold
now?
this microphone. Mm-hmm.
You all right?
I'm wildly uncomfortable, but it'll be great.
Unsettled.
Oh, that's not good. How are things where you are at, Adam? How's the weather? How are good? Yeah, you look like you're getting some sun.
I have gotten a lot of sun. It's been a lot of fun. I've been working on a horror movie, and I took my family with me so we could have a couple days here in this paradise, and it's just been outstanding.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It
Horror
really is.
movie? Mm-hmm. Dope.
Thank you. It should be fun.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. There's
I don't
even
know
one
anything
cast
about-
member. I can't say who, but there was a cast member who was in One Too Many. So I will be grilling them about that.
If it's what's his name, Bullock. It's not him.
It's not Jim J. Bullock.
Jim J. Bullock. That's
He
it.
said,
Because he
Can't
would
say
remember
who.
being in the film. Yeah.
he'll tell you who it isn't. That's good.
It can't be Jim J. Bullock because he doesn't remember being in that movie. So
Right. He has
wouldn't get a
no
lot
idea
out
it
of
even
him.
happened.
Blocked it out.
So that would work out real well.
I saw he's also going to be at the
Chiller.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I got brought up to him.
There's a jillion people that are going to be there that
I
weekend.
know, it's so sad.
And I have to tell you, if there was any interest at all, they would call it a One Too Many reunion and get them two together and have them do a Q&A and charge. If there was even a little interest.
Right.
You know, speaking of Chiller Fest, so Michael Gavin Ali, of course, is like, "Hey, Carl, go to Chiller Fest. And can I come on your show? Because I'm going to talk to John. I'm going to interview John." Yeah, come on the show on Saturday after Chiller Fest. Then I hear him calling to B Dabbler. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey, B Dabbler, can I call on your show? I'm going to Chiller Fest." I'm like, yeah, call it. So I'm going to get sloppy seconds with Michael Gavin Ali because B Dabbling Live is at 10 a.m. We're at 2. So I'm already like, I don't know about that. And then I get a note from Michael Gavin Ali that says, "Can I have 2 of my other friends who are going with me also call into your show?" I've been trying to work in some new people and stuff, and every time people hate it.
Yes.
Every single time.
It's true.
It pisses everyone off.
And I think because they often bring friends. I loved hearing about that comedy show, but wished it was just one person we were interviewing. Having 3 of them correct each other isn't necessarily the best way to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Not great. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with that.
With Michael Gavin Ali?
Yeah. Should I kick him off the show for going on with El Harible before us?
Did he say it was going to be before?
Yeah. He didn't say, but I know how the schedules work. And they're Saturday morning, so.
That's classic druggy behavior. I'm not calling him a druggie. I'm saying when you put out a bunch of beacons because you think everyone's going to say no, and then everyone says yes, and you're like, "Oh, I don't have that much money."
You equated it to buying drugs.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I never thought
He
about
wasn't
it like
expecting a yes.
I wasn't expecting that.
that. But that is accurate. That is exactly what that's like.
That's funny. Christian Blatt says Michael Gavin Ali and all his friends are welcome on WATB. Well, thank you for stepping up for the network.
Yeah.
Because you're taking one for the team.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I appreciate that. I want to call out the Bitch Boy of the Day. It's a fun new segment I'm starting up over here on WATP.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Richard Russa has put in a dispute through my merchant account services.
Okay.
He purchased Dabble House.
All right.
And then he wants his money back. And the reason is
Because of the Simpsons thing?
product unacceptable.
Oh.
This is a bitch move. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
We had, I won't say the number, but we had a lot of people sign up for Dabble House. And the complaints I got were WATP didn't process right away and it wasn't available the next morning.
Okay.
It's up there now. Everything's there. You can still go to dabblecon.live. You have a password. Everything's there to watch. If you don't, you can still sign up for it and watch it if you want to. Nobody's complaining about the content. It was fantastic.
Yes.
It was great shows all weekend. I had a blast. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. It tells me this Richard Russa prick is like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll pay the money to be able to watch it, and then I'll get my money back.
Sounds like an acronym. I'm going to figure this out.
Could be ROOSS.
Grant? What?
You think it's another Tim Duransky?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, Silent Shape. It was a most excellent time.
Good to hear. I thought it was just me having a blast.
No, I mean, do you think Richard Russo's talking about the actual content? I know sometimes, every once in a while, I want to complain to a restaurant and not have the server be a part of it, or
Yes.
make sure they're. And often you can't separate that stuff, and they let it all fall onto the driver or the person. I'm wondering if he was just complaining about the interface or about his ability to, use the server as opposed to the show. But
That's
product
interesting. Yeah.
was all he
I'll
could
keep.
think
You know
of.
what? I'll send him an email. I have his email address.
Yeah.
I have his social security number, his firstborn's name.
I know where he lives.
The last 4 digits of his social security. See, this will get clipped to be like, oh, see if you bought Dabble House. You got all this information about me.
You get doxxed.
Yeah, if anyone wants to buy the information of the people who signed up for a Dabble House.
Next
How
year,
else am I
Doc's
supposed
house.
to send them keychains if I don't know where they live, Carl?
Right.
That's right.
It's very
I know there's a
important
brand
to
here,
sign up.
but maybe we don't go right to hate just on this one, and we see
Good point.
if there's anything we can fix. I had a tough time with the interface and logging on the first day. Things were a little rough, but the second day was just incredible. And I would listen to that content, coming out of a cave with one ear to the ground. Just, it was unbelievable what was transpired and what he said and the depths to which this man will go. Insane.
Uncle Rico was over 3 hours Saturday night.
It sure didn't seem like it.
And there was 0 super chats. There was 0 conversation with the chatters and all. It was just boom, boom, just go. Which
All
is
meat,
not a normal
no
Uncle
fat.
Rico show.
Yeah.
And there was too much to get to, too many clips. It was great. I didn't want it to end. It was
12 hours
fantastic.
later, Vinny and I are listening to it again with the exact same reaction and expression. Just unbelievable.
Oh, let's talk about that. Adam, turn your mic up. You're so fucking quiet, man. You got to turn your mic up.
Hello.
So, producer Chris drove all the way to Florida, where we were, and then you and Vinny drove all the way back after the show.
Yes.
So 48 hours, no exaggeration,
No.
in the car with Vinny in a small span of time, a few days time.
This is going to disappoint a lot of people. I had a really good time with
Good.
Vinny.
It doesn't disappoint me
Yeah, I know it doesn't disappoint you.
because
yeah.
we got to work with Vinny.
Yeah, no, we're a good team, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
For the most part, it was joking, and we sang songs. Got a little gay. Turned into a musical.
Playing footsie while someone's driving can be very
Yeah, it's
dangerous.
very dangerous,
So I'll warn
but-
you of that.
Yeah, live and learn.
Yep.
No, it was great. And Vinny is a
Missy
fucking
Diaz,
machine.
was there Roadhead? You did get real happy just now when you were talking about that.
Yeah, he's the master.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So I was talking about Michael Gavin Ali, and I got to figure out what to do with him. Another guy who's been reaching out to me a lot lately, Jake Hudson. And Jake Hudson wants me to come on his show, but what he does is he doesn't schedule it ahead of time. Oh, remind me, I have some good news as far as scheduling shows. He doesn't schedule it ahead of time. He just sends me a link and says, come on my show. And you know me. In fact, Chris, I'm happy to be back here with you two, back in the studio, because I have a schedule. And every day is like, this is my schedule. This is what I have to do. Oh, it's Thursday. Okay, this is what I have to do. So when I'm down in Florida and we're doing this thing, everything gets out of whack. And, we didn't do Creep Off on Monday. We didn't do Dabble Point on Monday. I did get home in time to do Drew Lane's show last night. But you can't just send me a StreamYard link and I'm just going to hop on. I'm like, no. I've already decided what I'm doing with that time. I have a lot of stuff to get to, and I'm pretty busy.
Yeah.
So I just write back Jake, and I go, hey, Jake, all you got to do is, send me a day and a time, and let's figure this out. I'll come on your show. He takes that opportunity to write me back and tell me how upset he is about the latest video that we put out because of the title of the video. Now, I put out the video of JNO that we did at the house. Trucker Andy introduced us to some new characters.
Yeah, you're talking about Slows doing slow jam?
Well, that was the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of clever.
I thought so, too.
But the title was not clever at all. The title of the video was Meet Jordy, Retarded Music Producers Promote Retarded Friend, which was not my best work, to be honest. So Jake wrote me and he said, Carl, this is unacceptable. I'm offended by this word as an autistic man. I don't like that word. So I just went in and changed it.
Oh.
Now, normally I don't negotiate with terrorists, but I did go in and change it to R-worded music producers promote R-worded friend. And it's
That's
better.
love. That's beautiful.
It's better than the original. So I got to thank Jake.
Everybody can enjoy that.
Yeah, right. I think that actually makes it better. Oh. Yeah, should we get Jake at our super tip system?
Yeah, man.
I know he's on there. I know other people play Jake super tips.
What is it Jake wants to talk to you about if you go on his show? What's it going to be?
He's a big fan of the show. Maybe he wants to ask me questions about my process.
How cool our words are.
I assume it'll be similar to when I went on Ray DeVito's show and I explained him how to do a podcast and he didn't learn anything.
I'm kind of picturing that.
I don't know.
I don't want to project.
We do have a super tip system, supertip.gg/WATP. And this one came in 5 days ago from Daddy Poopy.
Rob Saul.
Wait, I'm sorry. Dog Diddler says what?
Rob Saul.
Oh, I got him there, slow wife. This one just came in from Anonymous.
This is for your Kumia ball washing soap, you piece of garbage.
It is a special soap that I use for Kumia. And KJ, who does so much to support this show and so many other Dabbleverse shows, was an executive producer for the Dabble House this past weekend. She comes with $50, which is fantastic. You have a drop for that, producer Chris? Do we have a $50 drop? Putting the pressure on it right now. I wasn't ready for this.
I had the worst ones all queued up. We'll go with this.
Fair enough. KJ says, Dabble House was fun. John is creepier than I'd ever imagined. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Boston. Yes, Boston is official.
Oh, finally.
June 21st, we'll be with the Dick Show. And you're going to have to get your tickets early for this. This is going to sell out because this is Dick's last live show, maybe ever. His son is going to be born in July, and then it's no more fun for Dick Masterson.
So he really was a boner guy.
It's all family life. That was Mark Norman.
I know.
Oh, I was a boner guy.
Chris thought that was Dick Masterson just now.
Still sounds like Dick to me.
What's the venue?
Let me listen again.
Oh, I was a boner guy.
We're playing the City Winery in Boston.
Beautiful.
Yes. We've done city wineries in Nashville and Manhattan, and now we're doing the City Winery in Boston June 21st. Very excited about that. Also, programming note, since we're talking about that, I have been booked to go on Normal World, Dave Landau's show. Mm-hmm. That is May 27th. It's the day after Memorial Day. And then I reached out to my buddy Alex Stein, and he's going to get me on his show on the 28th. So I'm going down to Dallas to do a couple shows on the Blaze Network, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's nice knowing that Alex Stein is not Kate's type, even though they had an evening together. When she describes her perfect man, it's
Right, she
the
has a short
opposite
man.
Right.
A broke man.
I want his feet to stink.
Close to his mother, like really close.
Yeah, that's right. The Kate calls. You really have to listen to him to understand how much of a child John is. And I'm a broken record, but every time John does something and you're like, how old is this guy? The answer is 6. He's flirting with this girl like he's 6.
6 going on 60.
Exactly.
For me, and I know it's like a Rorschach test, anyone who sees it will have their own personal, like, what offended them the most. But for me, when he tried to convince her not to take this gig
Yeah.
from the person that her father asked to look after his daughter, and he was like, you can't do that because I'm jealous and you're going to meet other men. Like, that was it. That was his only reasoning. And I just wish Kate, I mean, she was masterful through the whole thing. But I just wish she would have said, you know, he mentioned the job was available to you too, John, but I know it's beneath you. And then just see him scramble and have to explain to her why it's terrible for her, but a good thing for him.
Yeah. Well, you know,
So many highlights. Zach Hoffman says, my favorite line of season 2 tapes was when Kate said to John, you're still competing against Espresso Martini. Great weekend, Carl and Chris and gang. Thank you, Zach. Yes, that was John's very jealous of everyone that Kate talks about or talks to. And then John was trying to make her jealous because John had this hot girl from Maine.
from the Niagara Falls region.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
You can see that, like, the only way he knows how to meet someone or get a friend or get a girlfriend is to impress her with Hollywood things and all of that stuff. And without that, it never occurs to him to get her to like him. He has to be like, okay, I'm going to spend the next 6 months explaining to you who I used to be. And I'm going to shove that in your face so hard and get anyone who knew me back then to validate it so that you can fall in love so hardly with the person I used to be that you'll sleep with me. It's crazy.
Is that a strategy? Because that's not
the only thing he has. It's nothing about who he is. It's only just
Right.
who he used to be. You're going to love this guy.
Her father was in show business. He's probably not as impressed by that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hung out with a lot of comedians growing up, I would imagine.
He's got no other moves. He's got nothing.
I've never tried to trick someone into liking me or falling in love with me. It just happens.
I've definitely erred on the side of, not being myself. I can certainly relate to that and thinking it's got to be something else.
Yeah, if
but
you're not lying, you're not trying, of course.
He hates being John Melendez so much that when he can't be Stuttering John, he'll just be the Duke. Anyone that's not him. It's just like, don't call me me. I need to be a superhero.
You're right.
I love, come over and see how stable things are. That's nuts.
Oh, my God.
He's trying to get Kate to his mom's house to fuck her. And she's just like, I'm not going to go to your mom's house to fuck you. And he's like, this is where I lost my virginity.
Gross. Holy shit.
Oh, it's fantastic. A lot of fun. I do want to thank our buddy Vince the Midget for being here and giving us $2 at a time, as he likes to do. Now, if I were a person like Opie, I'd block Vince, but I'm not going to do that. I say, come one, come all. Christopher from Columbus. Don, what bingo hall are you middling tonight? You might be in the wrong chat, my friend. I'm not sure what that means.
Gotta bother those Rico fellas with that.
All right, you guys ready to get this show on the road?
Yes.
It's enough palaver, I would imagine. Let's start the show.
Episode 613.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock.
I've been dying to say that.
Cuzaroo.
Slapperoonie.
It's showtime.
WATP.
WATP.
Hello, Rubber Ducks and Kangaroos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show featuring hosts who hide in their cars at strip mall parking lots. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, the man who still likes us because he did not spend an entire weekend cooped up in a house with us. It's Adam Bush.
No, I spent the weekend trying to get online and log into that thing and watch it all with you, which I eventually did, and it was incredible.
I love that you're in paradise right now, and you're like, I'm going to go back to the hotel room and watch this video stream.
It makes me do a lot of reflecting about how I ended up here and what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to change it.
And producer Chris is back this week.
Yes.
He was gone last Wednesday because he was in a car with Vinnie Paulino en route to Florida.
I lost on the wheel of consequences.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Please go to whoarethese.com. That's where you get our email address, the voicemail number, the link to our subreddit, the link to our Discord server, the link to our merchandise, the link to our YouTube channel, and that link to Patreon and Supercast featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. We actually have a bonus show. I think next week I'm doing one with Dick Masterson, doing a Dick Show crossover because we are announcing June 21st. We will be in Boston. It is happening. It's official.
Yes.
City Winery. We were bidding against other performers who wanted that date in that venue, and they said, no, we got to give it to WTP and the Dick Show because Dick's having a kid in July. This is a big deal. It's going to sell out. So tickets will be available soon. Watch for that announcement. Please save the date, June 21st. I'm sure Blind Mike will come down. And
Harrison Blake Young, maybe?
Oh, Harrison Young, Adam Thoreau. All of our New England friends need to get involved in that. So that's very exciting. And, of course, patreon.com/whoarethespodcasts is where you want to go for the bonus shows that we do. Hackamania is coming up.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? We're going to Vegas next month?
I know.
Jeez,
Just a couple weeks.
It's ridiculous.
Love it.
May 9th through the 11th, we got live podcasts featuring Who Are These Podcasts? The Creep Off, This Little Piggy, The Biggest Problem in the Universe, Nobody Likes Onions, Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve, Tukey Soup with Cardiff. You want to go to hackamania.com. Use the promo code WATP. There is not a promo code that exists in the world that will save you more money on tickets than the promo code WATP. We always encourage our listeners, give us a 5-star review wherever you review podcasts these days, and also let us know where you review podcasts these days. And then shit all over us in the comments section so that our review girls can read those. Today, we'll be talking about the end of Hawk Tuah's 15 minutes. We're going to catch up with Scorch while he drives with his buddy in the DBL1, the Drive Bar Locator mobile. We're going to find out how Rob Saul really feels about Adam Bush. We're going to get an update on Opie's shot at Anthony Cumia that everyone's talking about. He got a shot in. Watch out. We got another 2 minutes with Tom, the game from Cardiff Electric.
Nice.
But first, Stuttering John called into Kevin Brennan's show to talk to Kevin Brennan about what went down at Stevie Tomatoes last Thursday. Have you heard this yet, producer Chris? Good.
No, sir.
Because you were there. You rode with me. So you know exactly what went down.
So KB paid him $3,000?
Oh, no. You know, it's funny. It turns out John was willing to do this phoner for free because he has some big shows he's promoting.
He's a master negotiator.
I know. That already went from 1,000 to 0 very quickly. But yeah, John is doing the Chiller Con.
Yeah.
And then he also has Stress Factory gig, which is like outside in a tent or something like that. It's not the venue, but whatever. I guess he's got some other shows too. I can't remember what he was promoting, but why don't we start there? Let's listen to him calling in to Kevin Brennan to set the record straight about what really went down. Stevie Tomatoes. Now, if you're not aware, on Thursday night, the whole gang is down in Florida for Dabble House, and we're doing a meetup. If anyone's in the area, come down, hang out with us at Stevie Tomatoes Thursday night at 8. We announced it. We put it out on social media. It was promoted. We will be at Stevie Tomatoes at 8 p.m. if you want to come and hang out. And actually, Mike Morris I should have grabbed by him. Mike Morris brought lanyards.
Yeah.
It was a more official event than I realized. Thought we'd just be hanging out. But
Whoops.
there's more to it than that. So there's a lot of rumors and hearsay, conjecture about this whole event. Let's see what John has to say about it.
Hello? Yeah, you got to turn your radio down.
I did. It's John.
Oh, by the way, thanks to Brandon Deft, who seems to be a new clipper, perhaps, on YouTube, is the person where I found this clip from. So thank you, Brandon Deft.
Okay, so what happened?
What with faces of meth?
No, with Stevie Tomatoes. They're saying, like, you ran or something, and I talked to...
Kevin, I don't run from anywhere. You saw me in Atlantic City with Fatty Patty and with Tukey. You really think that...
I didn't take it. I never thought it.
First of all, I was there. I got there like 5:30, and I'm waiting. And then I'm like...
Okay, wait, John, sorry, let me cut you off. So you knew they were coming?
Yes, I knew they were coming. And...
you just knew from social media, or something you had an inside source?
Oh, no, they were saying they were all going to be there. They were promoting it. So
Right. We were saying we're all going to be there. We were promoting it.
Yep.
See you at Stevie Tomatoes, Thursday, the 10th, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
John goes, I got there at 5:30 and waited for them.
Yep.
Well, you're a little early. It's not a surprise party. You know? You can show up even a couple minutes late if you want. We'll still be there. Like my friend Andrea Brower wasn't able to get out of work. She got there really late. I felt bad because she showed up. We're like, we're leaving now. But it was great to see her. Thanks, Andrea, for stopping by.
Wait, your friend? You mean former moderator for the Stuttering John podcast, Andrea Brower?
Yes, and talent coordinator for the Hell Sparks show.
Oh.
Andrea Brower, that's right. We always give credits on this show when we talk about people. It's a very important element to this.
So John gets there at 5:30, knowing you're going to be there at 8 o'clock, and then leaves at 7:50 p.m. and says you're all scared of him.
Close.
Okay.
7:47.
7:47.
he's gonna explain this here.
Well, I went there, as I always do, and I'm hanging out at the bar. I didn't see the guy who hid behind me and then went behind that guy's head and took a picture. It was my friends who said, "Hey, John, some guy just took a picture and ran away." I'm like, "Really?" And then I'm just
like, I'm there. And then he goes, and then I'm like, and then he said, and I'm like, what?
He can't tell a story. He can only tell a story as if we all were there together with him and we're reliving it. He can't give you the information you need. He's like, you know the guy that was behind me? No, we don't know the guy that was behind you or anything about it. You're telling us the story now.
Yeah. He also says this thing. He's like, yeah, so you know that the picture is like, he doesn't say there was a picture of me that went out on social media. He just assumes everyone knows everything that was going on.
And if you want to get into it, the first thing he said was, KB says, John, turn your radio down. I did. Obviously not. He can hear it. Why is it always I know and I did? No, just turn it down. And then he says, so talk to me about why you called in. The faces of meth? What? What is he talking about? What's the faces of meth?
I have no idea.
How can he not know what he's calling into? Sorry, keep going.
I think they're making fun of producer Joe's wife. This is one of the things that really good comedians do is they zoom in on photos. I know Rob Saul's really good at this. And obviously Kevin Brennan is they can look at a photo and then go, that person doesn't look great. And you're like, that's pretty good stuff.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know why Tim Dillon's got a Netflix special and not these guys.
Especially when they all have no one. And they're pointing at everybody else as someone, being like, I would never want that.
Right.
Ran away. I'm like, really? And then I'm just hanging out there, and then I'm outside, and then I look inside to see if I see any of these losers. No one's in there, I'm like, you know, I don't want to get DUI, so I've already had like a few beers. I'm like, all right, well, it's 7:47 now.
Okay. So John's already in excuse mode.
Yep.
So I've already had a couple beers. I don't want to get a DUI, being responsible here. And so at 7:47, you know, if you didn't show up at 5:30 and start drinking, all of this could be remedied.
Yeah, you could also stay and stop drinking.
True. That's a good point. One that didn't even cross my mind. Like, what?
Yeah, right.
You could also not schedule an AM radio appointment for the exact time that your mortal enemies are going to be in your backyard.
It wasn't the exact time, though. The radio call-in was 9. We got there at 8. He lives 7 minutes from this place.
Oh, but John's an artist. He has to prep. He has to do his calisthenics. He has to
No,
do
actually, you'd be shocked to know, Adam, even when John sits down to do his show that he has to run by himself for hours, he does zero prep. He doesn't even center himself in the screen.
Huh.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with that.
That's cliche.
It has nothing to do with any of those things, actually.
Why? So I've already had like a few beers. I'm like, all right, well, it's 7:47 now. You think they know that I'm here? And then I slowly walked out of the bar. I even looked.
How slow? Show us how slow.
Shot.
That's so great. He has to point that out.
I mean, everything he does is slow, so I believe
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
But I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I'm sorry, Jake. We meant recessed. We meant slow. We didn't mean what you think we mean, Jake. Don't worry about it. It's talking about speed.
No
Everything
one
with John
was
is a
parked
movie
next to you.
moment. It's a cinematic
Right,
end of the
yes.
movie moment. I slowly walk out 10 minutes early.
Looked
Before-
around as a tumbleweed went by.
Uh-huh.
Yes, exactly. Nice.
Thank you. Been working on that all day.
Has that been sitting there for the last 600 episodes in case this ever came up?
Yes. I was already ready to go with it.
Me, Kev. Everybody knows what kind of car I have. So nobody parked next to me. I looked down the whole strip mall of cars looking for one of these.
The parking lot? Yes. He couldn't find the word parking lot in that wet brain of his.
Losers to be in there, because if I would have saw if I would have saw I can say dues payer. If I would have saw dues payer, Lady K, or Silent Mike, or any of them, I would have went up to the car and I would have put my fist through the window. So I looked, I couldn't see anybody, and then I left. I called Dirty Deeds when I was driving home.
Okay. I want me to tell you who he called when he was driving home. Like that has anything to do with anything. So John was so fired up, he was ready to put his fist through a window if he saw one of us. But he wasn't so fired up that he would wait 7 more minutes. Yeah, we missed him by 5 minutes, I think. Because I'll tell you the story. What happened was the photo of John at the bar, and there was a quick video because there was some people who are fans of Uncle Rico and WATP at the bar were alerting Shulie and myself that John was there. I get a call from Shulie. Now I'll tell you, I'm in my house in Cape Coral. I'm closer to Stevie Tomatoes than the rest of everyone else. They're in Fort Myers at Dabble House. I can say that now, I think, right?
Yes. And how far away is that?
So they're like a 45-minute drive to Stevie Tomatoes. I get a call at 7 or maybe 7:05 from Shulie, where he's like, "Holy shit, Carl, he's there. We got to go." Because I just planned on meeting them at 8. He's like, we got to go. We got to go. We'll be there as fast as we can. And so I'm hanging with you and Missy and everyone else who's at my house. I'm like, all right, guys, change of plans. We're getting in the car now. We're going down there. So we all hurried to try to get there in time to see John because we found out that he was there.
We've never moved faster.
Right. We thought that'd be fun to have a little convo with our buddy John. John decides to slowly leave the bar at 7:47, look around for cars to punch, and then get on the phone with Dirty Deeds and drive home.
And then I heard that the dues payer was hiding in his car and would not get out of his car until I left.
That's really weird because he called me all excited and said we're leaving early to try to get down there. It'd be weird that he would get there and then hide in his car. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, how do you hide in a car? Who reported this back to him? Is that one of those things where you just pull the seat back?
Yeah, wait.
There's a whole
John just said
carload
he's
of people.
scanning the parking
Yep.
lot to
Right.
see who to punch.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Shulie's there, but he didn't see him.
He put up like cardboard in the window, said nobody in here or something. I don't know. He was hiding in a car.
What John doesn't understand, and it's the same thing when he goes to visit Melton, when he went to KB's house, he keeps coming up with these elaborate stories as to why they didn't connect. And it's either, John, one of two things. You're afraid of these people and afraid of confrontation and just want to seem like you want it, or you're terrible at this. Like really, really
Right,
bad.
yeah, you're either failing miserably because you always show people's house when they're not home,
Yeah.
or that's on purpose. I agree.
You watch these kung fu movies where people devote their whole lives to exacting revenge on that one person that wronged them. And he talks about standing outside waiting to get Chevy Chase with an awkward question overnight for 6
Right,
hours.
yeah.
But his own kid's honor, is not as important as AM radio.
Yeah, John would be terrible in Kill Bill. He'd show up and they're like, oh, he's not here yet. Like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
End the movie. We don't need Steve Carter for this.
Yeah, we got to go.
And I also heard the same thing with Lady K. They were hiding on the other side of the building.
Okay, so now John's saying he also heard about no sources, no anything that you could reference to say, like, why did you hear that? Who told you that? Who would be there to see this that would tell you this? But apparently, I was also hiding in the parking lot in my car.
So Kevin Brennan has to fire back with some hard-hitting questions, right? Like,
oh, yeah, he's going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
He'd be like, how would you know that? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would they even go to Stevie Tomatoes and not come out of the car? That's why they go there, because you're going to be there. No, he doesn't ask any of those questions. That would be great, though.
So, again, the proof's in the pudding. I would never run from any fight. And I invited Silent Mike over. I said, look, I'll be home. Come on over. And I would welcome him to come over.
That's hilarious. John called the police when there was a car parked out in front of his house. And he looked out and he saw the car there. And then they left. And he called the police. He called the police when Chad went to his house. And he wasn't home. He threw a fit when Joey C and his wife went to his house and left a note on the door. And now he's saying, I invited Mike Morris over to my house. John was going to call the police. That's what he does if you show up to his house. But, in his mind, he was inviting everyone over for a big rumble.
They say a big sign of a lack of intelligence is when you don't recognize patterns. And he doesn't, but we do. John, I know you don't see it, but it's the same thing every time. It went from I'm going to Florida or wherever Chad is and I'm kicking his ass to you're going to meet me at this halfway point. All right, you come to me and I'll come to your club. All right, I can't get a ride to the club. You come to my house. You come into my house, I'm calling the cops.
That breaks down exactly what happened between him and Chad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over like a month.
And essentially with everyone, he just doesn't think we see this.
But they're not going to come over because they're afraid of me.
And so I didn't really watch their take. I didn't watch any of their shows from down the house. But so what did they say happened?
Yeah.
Well, the dude's pay a lie said he was in the parking lot and the owner called him and said, don't come in when John's there.
What? When did Shulie say that?
I missed that part.
Yeah, so he's just making this up now that Shulie said he called the owner when he was in the parking lot? Why would Shulie... So we had a reservation. We had the whole back room booked for a meet and greet.
Yeah.
They knew we were coming.
Uh-huh.
In fact, the people who got there early were asking the bartenders, hey, is this place for the meet and greet? They said, yeah. They knew it was happening. We ended up just hanging out outside because that was much better than being inside.
Correct.
But why would Shulie then show up and go, hey, can I come in?
Oh, I thought John said the owner called him.
Okay, let me back that up because this is a doozy. What's he talking about?
Watch any of their shows from down the house. But so what did they say happened?
Well, the dude's pay a lie said he was in the parking lot and the owner called him and said, don't come in when John's there.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So the owner's staring out the window looking for a rental car. I don't know how he'd know it's Shulie or anything like that.
Also, John's protector.
Yeah. And then he calls Shulie. He wouldn't have Shulie's number. Producer Joe's the one who even reserved this. Has nothing to do with Shulie. But he called Shulie. So Julie said that the owner called him and told him not to come in and also hide.
Yeah. Let me talk to the shitwayer, please.
And John could tell. I mean, and of course, KB is such a great interviewer. He doesn't call him out on this at all. John says, I looked in the parking lot in my cowboy moment and I saw nothing, no shitware. Then 2 seconds later, he's like, and there was the shitware hiding in his car, trembling, waiting for me to come out. Okay. And then the owner called Shulie. How would you know that? If he's trembling in his car.
Well, no, he's saying that Shulie said that the owner called him and told him not to come in, which is crazy.
Where? When? He never said
where,
it.
when? Yeah, play the clip.
Please.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Because he was already shivering, in fear in his car. He didn't need a warning.
Yeah, good point. So there's 2 reasons why he didn't come in. One, he's definitely afraid of stuttering John Melendez and the force that he is to be reckoned with. But then B, the owner also told him not to.
And these are facts, even though John didn't see him. Because if he would have seen him, he would have kicked his ass and ripped him out of the car.
Right.
Okay, good job, KB. You really got to the bottom of this. I'm really glad you don't watch any of the other fucking shows that you're going to comment on. You know, I don't like Rob Saul's show very much, but I watch it if I'm going to comment on it, you dick.
We play the clip over here. We're to play the clip channel.
Come on.
I pictured John kicking Shulie's ass and then going to the puppet. He's like, come here, now it's your turn.
The conversations we had with the staff there, we brought the puppet in, they were rolling because they all know John. I was talking to the one bartender. He's like, yeah, I looked up the Uncle Rico show and I was watching that. That's
it must be so incredible to be a bartender, you know, for many years, and you meet a lot of customers. You see a lot of different kinds of people, but there's always one or two that you're like, God, this guy's the worst. I mean, but boy, this one, it must be so validating to have like an army of people show up and be like, it's not just you. You're right. This one is exceptionally awful.
These people traveled in from thousands of miles away
from all over.
And the fact that you can't just wrap your mind around whatever political conversation he was trying to start at the bar, there's like shows all over the world dedicated to trying to figure out the same thing. It's baffling.
That's correct.
Now, that was a lie that was exploited by the potato because he had an inside source. I believe it was beloved chatter. And no, because the potato called Stevie. They said, nobody called him. Nobody even knows his number. So the Deuce Pay's first lie was that he was told that he had to wait. Then when they got to that Diddle House, then they decided to make up this elaborate fake story.
Okay, so that's interesting because we did do Point Dabble Point the next day. Adam was on that show. You were with us. And we were talking about everything that went down in Stevie Tomatoes the night before.
Yeah.
So what John just said is first Shulie's lie was that the owner called him and told him not to come in. Mm-hmm. But then by the next day, the first time any of us were talking about it, we had made up a new lie. So where was that lie? How did he hear about this first lie that Shulie told? Who did Shulie tell that to? Didn't tell it to me. I was hanging with Shulie the whole night. I don't know what he's talking about.
I can't figure it out because I'm not a liar.
But I'm sure Kevin Brennan will be like, well, wait a second. Why did he say that?
Right.
Saying that, that I ran. Kev, do you think in a million years I would run? Like, I mean...
You didn't run. You can't run. You left at 7:47. Everyone knew we were meeting at 8. You gave yourself 13 minutes of a cushion to get out of there before you knew any of us were showing up. It's not running, but it is leaving.
I think he's talking about exercise. Like, it is hard to imagine him running, but I can picture him leaving in fear.
Yeah, right.
Slowly.
Then they lied and said I left out of the back, which is another lie. Look.
Nobody said that.
Yeah.
We talked to the people who were there. Mm-hmm. The people who were there who saw John saw him get up and leave and get in his Mercedes that was parked right out in front.
That was the long and short of it.
And leave. No one was making up things that he was in the back and sneaking out. All of this is just, I don't know where he got any of it. Well, I do know where he got all of this. People are fucking with him. He wants to believe stories like, oh, Shulie just said this. Oh, Shulie just said that. John goes, he did. He's a fucking idiot.
And a pussy.
I'm not going to lie to you. I would... listen, I invite Lady K. He's got a place out here. Anytime you're invited, come by my house, knock at my door. Don't run like Baby Fatso did. Come to my house, knock at my door, and then I'll settle it right there.
Okay. This is interesting. I'm not a guy to go to people's houses. No. We are not looking for fights. We're just having fun on the internet. We're doing shows. We're clowning people who suck. It's kind of like what we do around here. But John just invited me to his house. I have the audio now. So when he calls the police, I can play this for the officer. He shows up just like, no, he invited me over, told me to knock on the door. I don't know why you're here, officer. This is a guy I know. And
I just want to make sure you have a good time.
We're in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Also, Diddle House is not an insult.
Well, it's a Vince thing.
Oh.
Vince came up with that one.
I should have known that John couldn't come up with it.
Right.
All right.
Because I'm not going to run from anyone. Oh, and the other thing I'll tell you is they had this little guy about 5 feet tall, I guess like 2 inches taller than Shulie. And he comes up to me and he goes, hey, are you Stuttering John? I go, yeah. He goes, can I shake your hand? I go, sure. I go, what brings you here? He goes, oh, I'm a Dabble. And I go, are you gonna what are you gonna do if you see the dues pay? I said I'm gonna beat the living hell out of him. And then he starts talking back. I don't want to talk to you. Just like, please get away from me. And then
okay, that story got trailed off, didn't it? Because I talked to this guy that he's talking about, and he goes, "Carl, it's my fault. He left. I walked up to him and talked to him about Shulie." I was like, "I can't use the S word around John. You know it's gonna freak him out."
Duh.
So this guy was like apologizing up and down. He's like, "I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I wanted to go talk to him about this thing." And then you notice how John's own story, he didn't know how to finish it.
Yeah.
Because this guy told me John was just like, fuck off, and told him to scram.
Right.
But let's hear that again. How did he say it went down?
The dues pay. I said I'm gonna beat the living hell out of him. And then he starts talking back. I don't want to talk to you. Just like, please get away from me.
And then he saw, and then.
See, now
he's lying.
we talked to this gentleman.
Yes, we did.
That would have, if John ended it that way, that would have been the first thing this guy would have brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it went south real quick.
Well, he did tell us that John did not want to talk to him. I go, well, yeah, you brought up Shulie's name. What were you thinking there, man?
He brought up Shulie's name 10 minutes before Shulie was supposed to be at the Shulie scheduled event.
Correct.
What part of the fact that 4 or 5 people flew across the country or drove hours to be where you are and you couldn't be there because you had an appointment? That's it. That's running. You can't accuse the people that got on flights and bought gas and drove hours of running from you. They came to you. You left. That's it. That's the story. There's nothing else happening.
And then I just waited there. I had one more beer. I waited patiently, and I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Put it this way, Kev. If they wanted any interaction with me, don't you think they would have came in when I was sitting alone by the bar?
They came at the scheduled time on the flyer. You got there early.
He doesn't have a leg to stand on. This is so pathetic.
I was there all Saturday. Why weren't they there on Saturday? They could have kicked my ass.
He thinks if he gets there early, we have to get there early? Yeah. What a retard. Sorry.
This is for the honor of your family and your children. And AM radio and getting there early is more important. And what are the odds that he got back there after you left? I would say very high.
Oh, I don't think so. John doesn't leave his house. I was surprised he was out till 7:47. To be honest, that's kind of late for him.
Right.
Because he's a day drinker. And he's usually like, okay, it's time to go home, have an edible, and pass out while calling all my friends on the couch.
Because, Shulie tweeted out the picture of like the end game is now or whatever the fuck he said, the fucking clown coward. He's like, obviously they took a picture. They knew you were there. So if they wanted trouble, all they had to do was walk in.
But
if they wanted to confront you, all they had to do was walk in. They knew you were there. It wasn't like they didn't know you were there. They took a picture of you.
We had it all staged too. If he was still going to be there, we were going to have cameras at multiple angles to capture us coming in and then John being there. And look at, my intent was to go in and say, "What's up, John? Where's that beer you wanted to buy me a year and a half ago?" Because he did offer to buy me and Jen beers at Stevie Tomatoes. I was going to take him up on that offer, see what happened. We weren't looking for a fight.
Looking for a beer.
This isn't the Outsiders.
Maybe find out why he didn't take care of your cats like he promised.
Right, and ask him about the cats. Yep.
You sitting at the bar. So of course they know you're there, and of course they're fucking cowards.
Kev, that wasn't them who took the picture. That was the guy I told you. His handle's Looney Tunes. He's the guy that came from behind me and then went and hid behind the guy, snapped
Looney Tunes critic.
The picture and darted away like the coward, just ran away. They didn't. The dues payer lady were not in there at all.
No, I'm saying, but they knew that you were there.
Yes, they did.
Because of the picture. The guy took the picture, so he knew that they knew that you were already in the bar. So if they wanted to confront you, all they had to do was walk in. They had you outnumbered.
Yes.
Outnumbered.
Anyone with a friend is John outnumbered.
And Kevin, it does take time to drive places.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Even in Florida, there's traffic and traffic lights, other cars. It's crazy.
The 13 of them, including Joe's wife, Lurch, they could have, look, I'm only one guy, but the 13 of them are still afraid of me.
Yeah, it's so sad. So you must, if you go there regularly, you must know the owner. Did the owner have any take on what happened? Or the manager?
No, and that's the whole point. The owner wasn't even there. So the dues pay story is already flawed. The owner didn't come in that day. It was only the bartender. You know, her name is Nikki, and nobody knew anybody's phone numbers. Those guys are.
Yeah, it's almost like it's completely bullshit. He just made that up because it's retarded. No one would even say that. Like, there's no way.
Didn't you say the owner called Shulie?
He said that Shulie said the owner called Shulie.
Right. And he believes that, right?
No, I don't know. Why would he? It's stupid.
So was the owner?
He believes that Shulie said that happened. And I know, like, reasonable people, it's hard to wrap our minds around this. It's so stupid. And Kevin Brennan sits there and goes, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And you know, when John was late for Kevin's show by an hour, suddenly Kevin had a real grasp of time and what early and late meant and what punctuality was. Now it's all this general 4-hour window.
Right. Oh, Missy B did go back to Stevie Tomatoes after church on Sunday and reported back to us that unfortunately John did not make it on Sunday. It's too bad.
Trying to lie and grift, but Kev, that's all they do is lie and grift.
Yeah, so was their intent? I mean, were they saying they were going to Stevie Tomatoes with the intent to confront you, like man to man, or?
No, we said we were going to Stevie Tomatoes to meet up with anyone who wants to hang out with us.
Yes.
In that area, as we're now all down there together for Dabble House.
It was pretty clear.
We had an intent to order some food and some drinks. We pulled all of those things off. We met people.
The heist.
Or they were going to go there to basically, John thinks this is his bar, and we're going to go in there and fucking show him who the boss is. So was that their plan? Why were they going there in the first place?
If that was the plan, I guess mission accomplished because
Right.
we took over the bar and he left.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the plan.
This is a sports bar. This is not the Friars Club or some
Right.
special Soho house. This is
it's
a sports bar. They
I wanna
appreciate people
explain-
coming in and spending money.
Right. I want to explain. Stevie Tomatoes is not a dive. It has two big full bars, one outdoor, one indoor, a whole restaurant area with seating and a whole back room for private events and stuff like that. It's a place a lot of people go.
Yeah.
It's called Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. You go there, you watch the game. They have the game on for you.
Nobody asks you at the front door if you know John.
Right.
And what the password is.
You know what? Because I mean, yeah, they act as if they're going to Disney. I mean, who the hell cares where I go to it's so.
No, but were they going there to kind of go on your turf and knowing that you would be there?
Were they going there to stick it to ya? They were going to stick it to you, weren't they?
Yeah, well, that's what they sold to their audience. You know, let's go harass Stutter and John. But guess what? Not one of them would go in there. So that just tells you who they are, and that's why the dues pay it back down to the bagel boss, and that's why I fought Crazy Cabby in the ring. There's a very big difference between, like, I don't, look, I grew up as a stutterer. I don't back down from fights.
He literally got his older sister to fight for him when he was a kid. It's in his book. We've gone through his entire audio book.
He calls himself the Bagel Boss now?
No. The Bagel Boss is this other character, and they were trying to set up a celebrity boxing match between him and Shulie.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember. It was a viral video.
No.
Yeah,
I know the Bagel Boss,
the Bagel
but
Boss.
I thought, okay.
The Bagel Boss came on Howard Stern, and Howard's trying to arrange a fight between Shulie and the Bagel Boss. Julie's like, this is beneath me. I'm not doing this. And so John always references that as Shulie being a pussy, not wanting to fight the Bagel Boss.
So John's unaware that people equate him to being the Bagel Boss.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Because he's shaped like one?
He's
Yeah,
really
and how he acts and
Right,
wants
yeah.
to fight everyone.
Incel
And
tendencies.
loses.
Like,
Yeah.
You're not my father. You're not my boss.
Yes. That was great.
I see how you're looking at me. You're all snickering.
It's true.
Or maybe that's the guy who walked Bob Dylan on stage. They're similar guys.
Similar guys. We got to get into Tuah. We got to talk about Tuah. I'm going to report today that it is over. I am officially declaring Tuah over. I have some evidence for that we'll get into. I got an update on Scorch. Scorch has been traveling. He's all the way down in the Keys right now. He traveled all the way from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in the Dive Bar Locator 1 motorhome with his buddy. So we're going to get an update on that. Rob Saul, we got some more information on Rob Saul because you and I did a segment about Rob, which is all he ever wants. It's all he asks for. Pay attention to me. Talk about me. I'm the villain of the Dabbleverse. So you and I talked about Rob Saul, and then he gets very upset when you talk about him. So it's like, not sure what
we
he
just told
wants.
him what we like about his show and the direction we think it should move in. But there's a reason he doesn't have a producer. I get it. He wants to work alone.
And then Opie Radio. Opie took a shot at Anthony, and everyone's talking about it. Well, he didn't take just one shot. He took 2 shots the same way. But we'll get into all of that. First, I want to thank people who are supporting us on supertip.gg/WATP. You could do that right now if you wanted to, like Daddy Poopy.
Hey Siri, call mom.
Okay, Google, text Neil. Hey, it's Kevin, your brother.
All right. Anonymous coming in says, you should have told SJ you were going to be at the Blue Oyster. Why would we do that? What am I missing?
I think it's a Revenge of the Nerds reference. Is it like a Hotel Carl Essex reference? Is it one of those? Is it Police Academy?
Police Academy.
The Blue Oyster Bar, yeah. Where everybody knows your name.
Goat Melp. Kate, stop saying we had sex. People are talking about it. John, ignore them. They're the problem. Not me lying about it constantly. That was an incredible part of the calls. Oh my God. Can you just clear the air? Why do you care? Who cares? What if I fucked you in the ass? Who cares?
But you get a detail wrong about any one of John's stories,
Right.
and that's it. You're a loser, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
I love when Kate goes, John, I've never even seen your penis.
It's purple.
It's very dismissive of his junk to be like, your penis.
Yeah, that's true.
Carl AB testing my Rico Hey Don material here. Oh, that Don.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all making sense to me.
That shit don't fly here.
It's a little bit of a different format that we have here. There's no boys in the back. Hellraiser69 with a super sticker. Thank you very much, Hellraiser69. We always appreciate your support on this program. Not VTM, but did you have SJ's consent to use audio? Thank you, Eileen. King of the Middle Sodas Road. That's another Vince. Oh, here's a Vince right here. Declaring that we made $40,000 on the weekend. That's incredible. Good stuff. Naturally negative, $10. What is up, my skibbity Rizzlers? Given that it's Florida, what's the likelihood his motorcycle gang friends are actually just corrupt motorcycle cops? He's a pig sucker either way. Florida is actually a real state. It's not the Wild West. I believe that you saw the cop cam footage. They don't put up with any shit down there. No. So that'd be my guess. But what do I know? Dame Taft. Carl, schedule another Dabble House meet and greet and show up 2 hours early. Well, now that I know that, yes.
Yeah, right.
That would have been the way to play it, but I didn't know I had to do that. Ozone, $5. I saw clips from Dabble House, and it looks like you charge fans $40 to watch your usual show, but this time in front of a white wall. Thoughts? We had the exclusive Kate Meany tapes, the Dabbler Film Festival. We watched John on Wings. We watched John on the Jay Leno show. And we all traveled to be together in one place to collab and do that. All the WATP folks, all the Uncle Rico folks, all hanging together. It was not a inexpensive ordeal for us, but it was a lot of fun. And the people who purchased it really enjoyed it, and we appreciate the support from those folks. Thank you
Next
again.
time there's going to be a big banner and a whole lot of keychains. Everyone's going to love it.
All right, let's talk about Huck Tuah. Haley Welch. Now, we all remember what happened with her. She talked about spitting on a penis. The video went viral. And next thing you know, she's on Bill Maher's show and Jake Paul. And she's talking to all the big celebrities. She's a very cute girl from Nashville. And she has this podcast she starts with Jake Paul's network. And she decides, because of her influences, that she's going to launch a meme coin. The meme coin goes south very quickly. CoffeeZilla talks about it, talks to her. We find out that everyone who purchased it got ripped off. There was some insider trade. We had all sorts of things going on. And Haley Welch didn't have any answers for it, didn't know what to do about it, stopped doing the podcast. Then she came back and tried to do an episode where she explained herself and tried to explained what happened and didn't take responsibility at all. And they scrubbed that from the internet. Like it was up or it leaked or something. People got it. We saw it. We played it on this show. We talked about it. But then that was taken down. So months and months went by with no Talk Tuah episodes coming out. Well, then last week, all of a sudden, she launches a brand new episode. She flies all the way to London. And she goes to London to have KSI on her show. KSI is one of, if not the biggest influencer in the world, 25 million subs on YouTube. He's a music producer. He's a musical artist. He's a boxer. He owns that drink Prime. Him and Logan Paul started that Lunchable thing that they're doing. He's part of that too. So what a great guest to have on your show as she's trying to regroup and relaunch and rebrand. And all right, I'm back. Hawk Tuah girl is back. And so she has her guest.
Okay. Well, welcome back to another episode of Talk Tuah. It's been a hot minute since we've been back here, but now we're the official owners of Talk Tuah. And we may or may not have flew to London to get a very special guest for you. We got KSI.
Yo. Live in the flesh, baby. Thank you for having me.
Well, of course. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. This, I know, is going to annoy Jake Paul.
Oh, definitely.
But I'm glad you're free from his grasp and are able to flourish and be, well, one of the best podcasts.
A butterfly.
Yeah.
A beautiful butterfly.
So that's interesting. So it appears that they had a falling out with the Paul brothers. They're like, all right, this is damaged goods. Bye-bye. We're done with this.
But then they fell into the arms of Logan's partner in the drink, KSI?
Well, yeah, so apparently KSI and Jake don't get along real well. They've been trying to set up a boxing match between the two of them. They're both boxers for a while. But KSI loves his brother Logan.
So, I didn't know you could just like one of them.
I didn't know that either.
Camps? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand the rules on influencer partnerships.
I'm a Jeb Bush guy. I don't like W. I like Jeb. that's my thing.
You know who said that before? No one ever.
Yeah, exactly.
No one has ever said that.
Please clap.
That's my favorite Tom Myers clip.
Good reference. All right. So you see she's on there. She's talking about how she's no longer working with Jake Paul, but she has KSI as her guest. This is great. We're not even 3 minutes in, and she's already talking to her friend, Chelsea. Chelsea's the other girl in that video that no one gave a shit about. That, bless her heart, Haley is really trying to bring with her and make her a star. And they just start having this conversation about how they became friends, and they weren't friends at first, and then they became friends. They're talking to KSI, a guy, she needs him way more than he needs her at this point. You know, the whole point is like to get eyeballs on her show because she's talking to KSI, and she's so bad at this, she immediately makes it about her.
I didn't think I was going to like Chelsea when she moved to my school.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, let me guess, were you guys enemies before?
I wouldn't say really enemies.
Oh,
I was like, she looks like a bitch. I'm not going to talk to her.
Which she was a thing with my brother a little bit, like right before we met each other.
That was in 8th grade.
Yeah, but that's how I know you.
And then you come freshman year.
Yeah.
Ah.
Everybody was a thing with your brother.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody in my friend group had a thing with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We don't know her brother. We don't care about you two in 8th grade and what the dynamic was. You're at a different level now. This little cute, like, oh my gosh, I'm just like this weird farm girl who made it big. Yeah, we're past that. Everyone's past that. You're now talking, you flew to London to talk to KSI. And she totally dropped the ball on this. This was her big opportunity to get things going again for her. And KSI, he tried his ass off to make this interesting, to stay engaged in this conversation, that no one knows what anyone's talking about. Because after they're talking about how they weren't friends at first, he brings up, oh, yeah, actually, my buddy Simon, when we first met, we didn't really get along, but now he's a member of Sidemen, And Sidemen is this group of 7 guys who are all influencers who are huge. They do shows every Sunday. And this guy, Simon Minter, goes by Mini Minter, is also a giant influencer and celebrity. And he owns a bunch of businesses and products and all this shit. Like, if you're going to go talk to KSI, know this stuff. Because she literally didn't know what he was talking about. She's like, oh, you friends with him anymore? It's like, yeah, he's my friend Simon. And he even mentioned that in the conversation. He's like, I mean, now he's in Sidemen, but at first we didn't get along at all. Oh, you guys still friends? Yeah. You don't know anything that's going on here? Here's an example of just the communication is lacking between these two.
Yeah, I have no idea what this electric slide is or line dancing is. I feel like this is definitely an American thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
So you guys not dance when you go out to the bars?
Well, yeah, we dance, but we kind of like skank.
What is that? Skank! Skank means something different where we're from.
Skank means something completely different.
What does skank mean in America?
How would you say? What does it mean?
Okay, I'll give you the proper definition for it.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Now, I'm familiar with how to skank. I've been in enough ska shows. I'm very familiar with this. It's not just a British term. Skank. And these idiots are like, oh my God, he just said a naughty word. Holy shit, you don't even know. Skank means something totally different. It doesn't. But Haley can't even figure out off the top of her head what skank means. So she has to look it up. And this just keeps getting worse.
Wait till she finds out what cigarette means.
It's not something you really want to be called.
Yeah.
It basically means you're like sleazy.
Okay.
It's basically sleazy, but it says, okay, that one's a dance here. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. That is terrible.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm not gonna read the definition, but it's basically like a really sleazy woman, I'd say.
Yeah.
Why'd you look it up? If you didn't want to read the definition, and you saw her, she even goes, okay, this one says it's a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before her definition.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the first thing with skank. Yeah.
He would be right. And it is the same thing. It's a sleazy dance. It's a low to the ground. That's the reference. You can learn something, and we're not all on your phone with you. So that's just dead air for us.
It's the worst thing you can do is pull out your phone and be like, oh, let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, second worst, right?
What's that?
Because she got the phone out but didn't read it.
Right, yeah, and also did not even complete the mission that she got it out for. And so this goes on. You're going to hear the end part of the skank conversation where Haley's just out of her element completely. And then her friend Chelsea chimes in with a question that I think maybe Chelsea should have known, considering they flew all the way to London to talk to this guy.
I couldn't imagine just walking down the street here and just saying, yeah, you want to go skank?
Yeah, fair. I hear it.
Okay, wait, I do have a question.
Hit me.
What does KSI mean?
Knowledge, strength, and integrity.
Oh.
It's quite nice, right?
I tried guessing what it was. It started with kangaroo when I guessed.
The whole time I thought it was like your initials or something.
I guess what people might be like kangaroo because of my boxing style.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing around like.
If you ever want to change it up, you could use kangaroo. Okay, that's as far as I got. Kangaroo.
Good stuff.
You probably should have researched this.
It's incredible. They're asking questions you would find out immediately from reading the first 2 paragraphs of the wiki page for KSI. What does KSI stand for? Oh, I thought it was like your initials. I thought it was like kangaroo something. Oh, cool. Neat.
He is being a good sport about this.
He is, because I would have gotten up and laughed. If I'm in his position, I'm like, okay, this is a waste of my time.
He must be enjoying sticking it to the Paul brother. Then that's what this is
you
about.
know what? That must be it.
point.
Because, like I said, anyone tuning into this is tuning in because of KSI. Because he's the way bigger celebrity in this scenario. And so they know who KSI is. They're not going to need to know basic questions. They're not going to be interested in that.
Well, I was tuning in just to find out what the fuck is up with my crypto, because my meme coin investment is not doing well at the moment.
Yeah, she doesn't talk about that so much anymore. She made a bunch of cute videos about like having nightmares and then waking up like, oh, did that really happen? She's really been dismissive of the whole thing.
People wonder, villains, monsters, like evil people. No one thinks they are.
Right.
In fact, that's why they're so dangerous. They think they're the good guy. This was all fine and a great larf until this meme coin thing and that CoffeeZilla guy. You need to hear it if you haven't. When he's like, listen, you need to deal with this right now. Like, people were calling Carl going, I'm having trouble with the stream. And he's like, fuck, we got to mobilize and fix this thing. What is happening? This girl has millions of people's dollars in her hands. She hears there's a serious problem with it. And her response is, all right, I'm going to go to bed. Good night. See you later. All right.
Yep. And then those are real people. Hear from her again for months.
Yeah, and then she just disappeared. That's what evil is. The people that lost their money, it didn't even occur to you to think about them. You couldn't even internalize it. And people were trying to explain this to you, not a Hollywood plant, a real person. And you were like, worse than the biggest Hollywood star in the world. Like, Oprah can't just be like, all right, well, good night, go to bed. She has to make a statement and pretend to care. She can't even bother.
Yeah, it's really a bizarre, the way she's handled this. It's so surprising to me because, and I'm sure you've dealt with publicists and managers, and they would guide you through this and be like, no, we have to put out a statement. You have to look like you're upset about this and show that you care about these people and take a little bit of responsibility. Maybe that's not the right answer. I don't know what you're supposed to do in this scenario. Thankfully, I don't tell people to buy the Clubfoot meme coin, so I'm not responsible for that.
You just give them away as gifts,
right? It's a stocking stuffer for me.
Even if there's publicists and there's managers and there's people you can refer to when you get into hot water and these kind of things happen, you'd have to care enough to reach out to them, and you'd have to listen to them. And at the end of the day, if you're actually like, if WATP got into some trouble and you wanted to hire the biggest publicist to turn it around, they still wouldn't know better than you what your audience will respond to. Like, they would still need your leadership and awareness of this crowd. She just doesn't care. And that's so evil.
Interesting. I didn't think it would go into this Colin Haley Welch evil, but I
can bring anything there. You just give me 5 minutes.
I like that. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another really dumb question. They want to know what KSI is known for. Oh, how did you get known on the internet? Again, this is what, first sentence on Wiki? Maybe the second sentence?
So what was the first thing you got like really known for?
Ooh, FIFA.
What is FIFA?
So FIFA is like a football game or soccer game where, I don't know, you pass the ball around the pitch and then you put it in the net.
Oh, you come up with that?
No, I did not come up with FIFA.
What?
No.
You just played it?
No, so I played the game, yeah.
Holy shit. Did you invent soccer?
She doesn't have a team behind her anymore.
No, she does not.
It is evident.
But how do you this is what I can't wrap my mind around. How do you fly to London and not read up a page or two on this guy to understand some of the background? And wouldn't you go beyond that and be like, what's he working on now? What do you think he's promoting?
No. I spit on dicks.
What does he want to talk about? Yeah, she's like, I got this. Yeah, I got this. I'm fine.
My wife loves this 90-Day Fiancé show. And the reason this show works is because it's full of Americans flying to sometimes third world countries or very small, out-of-the-way places. And what's so remarkable is every one of them, it never occurs to them to do any research about the place they're visiting. And when they get there and they find out that like women are second-class citizens, or you have to wear a burqa, or nobody speaks English, they're shocked and they're upset. And it's just so insane to think you wouldn't even, like, you don't know what FIFA is? You know, if he didn't know what the NFL was, you'd make a comment. FIFA is everywhere in the world but right here. And maybe if you just read the Airplane magazine, you would have read something about it to relate to this guy. It's really a uniquely American quality.
And earlier, and you heard a little bit of this, they brought up the electric slide. He didn't know what that was. Like, you don't know what the electric slide is?
Fucking loser.
Yeah, like, what is your problem? He had never been line dancing before, and Chelsea's like, what? Never been line dancing? What's going on here?
And he could have told her he invented football.
Yeah, but
that's true.
He
could have gotten away with it.
He used to play FIFA online, and that's how people got to know him, and they're completely like, what? And here's another super horrible question to ask someone that you're interviewing who's way more famous than you.
Yeah.
So you said starting early. How old are you?
So I am 31.
31.
Yeah.
When did
I
you
would
start?
have never guessed that.
Really? How old did you think I was?
I was thinking like 25. Maybe.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
We both assumed that.
25?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't
Oh
look
my
it up
God.
either.
But I didn't
wanted
know.
to.
I didn't know that you like started out like at an early age.
Yeah, because you don't know anything. Like, I like that they're proud of themselves for being like, oh, I didn't know that you started out like when you were a teenager. Yeah, why would you? You don't know anything. Why is that a good thing that you didn't know that, Chelsea? You retard.
I like to think about the sound technician that, like, it's a really great mic, a really wonderful wrap around it. It's so delicately and perfectly placed for
Look
her.
at the lighting.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
much
nice
effort
studio.
went into setting this up,
Yep.
and they put no effort into what they were going to say.
Yeah, which is shocking. You know, you'd think that here's this big opportunity to revive your career.
Right.
You're spending all this money to go there and do this, and they couldn't be bothered to do any type of prep work for it.
And that could be a bit. That could be a successful bit. You know, you teach us, but they're obnoxious about it. They're not like willing to learn.
Yeah. This isn't like that Bobby, I always forget her last name.
Altoff?
Yes, Bobby Altoff. Where that would be a thing where she'd just be like, how old are you? Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that. And it's dry and, you know, it's supposed to be funny. This is not that at all. This is just two dimwits.
Rubes.
just two rubes.
You know, that's an actual comedian. They're not playing characters. This is them.
All right, so he starts to give her advice because he knows all the hot water that she's gotten into recently.
You're back here again. You know, you haven't just hidden away and just gone, oh, screw this, I'm done.
I did for a little bit.
But it's good that you've come back strong and, you know, you're still here. Yeah.
Did you notice that edit? You know, you didn't just run and hide. And then she goes, oh, no, actually, that is what I did. And then there's a hard edit that's not well done.
Screw this, I'm done.
I did for a little bit.
But it's good that you...
I wonder what she said there.
Yikes.
They're like, we got to cut all of that out.
She said, do your fucking research.
How do you not know this about me? I'm famous. But it's interesting. He goes, well, you know, you got to confront these things. And when there's adversity, you got to suck it up and get out there in front of the camera and address it. She's like, oh, yeah, I did none of those things. I actually literally just hid away for months. And we tried to do a thing that would make it better. And that backfired. So we scrubbed that from the internet, which is way worse than just leaving it out there and never doing it at all. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. And then there's a weird edit where she probably admitted to some things that she doesn't want out there.
And it's such a horrible edit that you know what she said was awful because no one who produced this show is happy about that really amateur, bad-looking edit. It looks like they don't know how to edit a show. And this decision was made, we're going to make the production team look like assholes because we cannot let out whatever she just said.
Yes, that's really the point I wanted to make that you made much more eloquently than I did.
Done.
I did for a little bit.
But it's good.
Okay. So now he's really trying to help her out, and he's trying to give some advice, and it's not coming out well.
Just enjoy yourself.
Heck yeah, I
Have
got to at
fun.
this point.
Yeah, and just.
He's at a loss for words. Like, all right, what you got? Okay, so you did hide. All right, that's not good. So what you got to do now is
Can't say you kind of trailed off there.
You do you. You keep doing you.
He's giving up on this project already.
Just have fun, yeah.
What age did you start getting in all this?
Ooh, I'd say around 14, 15. Yeah, I was
You've
quite young.
been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a very long time.
What is this? What doing this?
Yeah.
What is this? She has no idea what this guy does.
Right, we're gonna
Does
find
she think
that
they
out.
do the same things? How long have you been doing this? He's not a podcaster. He's not a professional guest either.
He's also not a scammer.
Hey, when did you start your first meme coin? Oh yeah, I don't do that. You should put out real content and real products in the world for people to purchase.
What did you say in an interview to make you famous? No, that's
Right.
not a universal experience, Hakuba.
Basically, what she's asking, and again, these are just the worst possible questions you could be asking someone. It'd just be like someone sitting down with Tom Hanks and being like, "So you ever do television? What do I know you from?
Who are you? Where are you going?"
It's like, what the fuck? No one needs this level of interview with this guy. So then he gets into this Marvel movie talk, and Haley's just completely checked out. She doesn't know what he's talking about. She doesn't give a fuck. She's not going to engage in the conversation at all.
I haven't watched even like Marvel movies recently. Like I think Endgame was the last one I watched.
I don't even know what that is.
And then it just, I don't know, it's kind of gone weird. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I think they're bringing it back with Avengers Doomsday. So it's well, I mean, there's no point me trying to explain it,
I was
but
supposed to say, she don't know anything
but
about Marvel at all.
Nothing at all.
but it looks quite good.
This is amazing.
Good job, KSI. He pulled the ripcord on that one. He's like, yeah, so anyway, this new movie's coming out. Looks pretty. Oh, you don't care. You really don't care. I'm not. All right, we're done here. That's fine.
I picture
wish
Haley on Between Two Ferns and Zach just being like, you can't offend this person. I quit.
Yeah, right.
He's mistakenly talking to the fern the whole time.
Right.
I wish the rocking of their chairs made a sound, because every time someone speaks, they're just like, oh, and they just rock around because they don't know what to do.
So uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable between these two.
And I like
So
that Adam Davies in the chat, he wants her to ask him, what was it? It was something like, so when did you start spitting on things?
What do you spit on?
What do you spit on to get here?
That Marvel talk, there's an abrupt, and this isn't an edit, but there's an abrupt transition, not a good transition, to a question about his drink there, Prime.
I need to know how you got your Prime drinks in every store known to man.
That's shout out to our distributors.
Wait, did it start out in the UK?
No, so it started out in America and then
Okay.
eventually came to the UK.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we went to different countries, etc. And
No, do your research.
She goes, how is Prime in every store? And he goes, you have to talk to the distributors about that. Like, it's a just distribution. This is a distribution question that you're asking me. It's why Prime is in every, like, why is Coca-Cola in every store? What do you mean? What kind of question is that? Well, me and Logan Paul are both super famous influencers, and we got a bunch of kids to buy it and think it was a better beverage than other beverages.
The one thing she knew about, she asked the most boring question.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the way business works.
Because we were working with that guy that you just left. That's why.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the
he
Paul
did it.
brothers. It's amazing what they can do for you if you just have a little bit of talent and stick to it in this. It's
And
crazy.
if someone comes to us and says the drink is poison, we're not going to say, all right, well, gotta go to bed.
Right?
We might deal with it.
It is poison, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, anywho.
This is great because now they're talking about boxing and how he's a boxer. And they're talking about the music they come out to. And, you know, what's your walkout music is the question.
yeah, I'm sure. I know, maybe a bit of drill. I knew you would know what that is. Do you not know what drill is?
You like Lil Wayne?
I feel like that's not like really a walkout, you know?
I don't know. What do you walk out to? What do you walk out to?
So I normally just my own music.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
What do you walk out to? Oh, I walk out to my own music. And you saw right there, Haley realized, oh shit, I didn't know that he made his own music. She's like, oh, your own music. All right, let's change the subject then.
Yeah, not sing us a song.
His latest music video has 109 million views on YouTube. He's a super famous musical artist. And she's like, what do you come out to in the ring? Well, first he says drill. And she's like, I don't know what that is. Of course not. And they can't relate on any topic at all. It's a cultural divide, but it's also just Haley not being interested. She's just not an interested person. She's not interesting for that reason. And I'm telling you, this podcast is over. That episode that I just showed you was from like 8 days ago. It's got 75,000 views, which is so pedestrian when you have a guest like that on there.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So then a new episode just came out, and I want to show you this. I think this is so funny.
Oh, gosh.
So this is Chanel West Coast. And Chanel West Coast has been on MTV and stuff. And I mean, I'm not all that familiar, but whatever. It's a guest that she has on there. Doesn't matter. Either way, here's what I want to show you. So talk to 205,000 subscribers. This video has 8,600 views after it launched a day ago. This woman used to get hundreds of thousands of views on her videos. But the best part is the comments. She got a taste of success on the internet, ruined it with shitcoins, and now she's going to be chasing it, getting 10,000 views a video until she says, fuck it, and starts an OnlyFans. This one says, if losing a multi-million-dollar opportunity was a person, This person says, make sure to pause the video so you don't give her a cent. This one says, the fall off is wild. I love how she's going to have to be careful being out in public for the rest of her life. Best episode yet. Anywho, I'm going to go to bed. I won't see you guys tomorrow. She never refunded the money. Oh, this one's great right here. They put the time code link, which happens to be at the very end of the video. It says, they talked about absolutely nothing, saved you an hour. Under 2,000 views in 4 hours is wild. Barely pulling 3,000 in 7 hours is crazy. CoffeeZilla owns you. So this has become one of those videos now where people only go to it. The only reason why it has views is people could just write nasty things in the comments section.
I'm sorry, I was so distracted by your YouTube playlist and what's happening there. It's exactly what we would have predicted. If we could have written one for
Oh,
you,
yeah, that's
it
a
would have
good
been
point.
Exactly this.
I wasn't even paying attention to that, but yeah, it's
all I could look
it makes a lot of sense.
Telling.
So there you have it. I have declared at the end of the Hawk Tuah era on the internet, she really did squander that opportunity, didn't she?
Yeah.
It just blows me away when people learn nothing. They go out of their way to have these incredible, epic experiences, and they come off knowing less from it.
Right, and she's a dum-dum, but that's fine. But she seemed like she was ambitious. And when you saw her talking to Bill Maher and Bill's trying to get her on his network, and then she's like, oh, I'm going to do this thing, I thought, okay, maybe there's something to this.
Yeah.
And there is not. Bill dodged a bullet with this one.
If I may be so bold, I think we were rooting for her.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I think she felt the same way. I think she felt they love me. And then this stupid, ridiculous meme coin thing happened, and now they all hate me.
And it
Like,
wasn't her
fuck
fault.
them. Yeah.
She just was, giving bad advice.
We're all
She didn't
fickle. We
know.
love to build you up, and then we love to tear you down, and you have nothing to do with it. And anybody that's stayed and has longevity, it's just a fluke accident.
We're going to talk about Scorch in just a minute. We also have some Rob Sell, some stuff coming up, and Opie radio stuff coming up. You got to see what Opie's talking about on his stream when he's trying to avoid Anthony talk. Oh, it's great. We had another game of 2 minutes with Tom.
Nice.
The Cardiff game about Tom Myers coming up. But first, I want to thank you fine folks for supporting this show. Supertip.gg/WATP, including Colin Madden. $10 says, Halloween 8th grade, Gary Catalano challenged me to fight after school at the park at 5 p.m. I showed at 5 to find out he had shown at 4 and told everyone I pussed out. I had Ace Frehley makeup. Shameful. Stuttering John.
Yeah.
So this is a move.
Mm-hmm.
This is a move that people pull. It's been documented, apparently. Yeah, John's really is next level. The fact that Kevin Brennan just went along with all of that just shows you where he's at.
When did they make up?
Oh, Kevin's just always looking for the scoop. They didn't make up. Kevin still hates. It's so pathetic, the shit that Kevin has said about John. But Kevin hates Shulie, so then John likes Kevin, even though he said so many worse things about John than any of us.
And John went to Kevin's place to not fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the obvious, why does Kevin hate Shulie? What's the beef? What's his issue that it transcends his relationship with John if we can just stick it to him?
He needs to hate everyone because that's his brand. That's his only content source, is hating people and having beefs with people. But if you want to know the origin, it's because Shulie went on Mike Kelta's show in Tampa. And while Shulie was a guest, Kevin Brennan's name was brought up. Actually, because of Chad Zumach, Chad reached out trying to get Mike Kelta and Kevin Brennan to be friends again because they had a falling out, go figure. And so while Shulie was there in studio, Mike Kelta gave out Kevin's phone number. And Shulie didn't do anything to stop him.
So he's mad at Mike Kelta, right?
Nope.
Huh.
But it's Shulie for being the guest on that segment when Kevin's number was given out, even though the only reason why Kevin was brought up was because Chad Zumach reached out to Kelta about Kevin.
No, that makes sense. When I see a crime going down, I blame the bystanders.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Clarkson is beautiful, says, you guys are the best. Go Cubs, go. FVTL, FVTL. Oh, man, the Cubs had me up late last night. Extra inning game against the Padres, who have been very hot. But the Cubs are looking good. They came out with the victory in that one. Still doing the runner on second in the 10th inning thing.
God damn it.
Not a fan. Section 8 smoke detector, $2 with a chirp. Rocco Orby 2002, $5 says, given his record for moldy lunch leaves and being a sex pest to women at conventions, KSI is the last person to give advice. Well, at least he's been there, done that, right? Still standing, so.
Yeah, he actually might give him a track record to weigh in on what she's going through. Timothy McDonough, I'll do it. Put this one in the box labeled so bad it's barely funny to talk about. That hurt a little bit.
I don't know if it was funny, but I find it fascinating that Tuah went all the way to London to give the worst interview possible to a very famous celebrity.
Do you know how annoying she must be to the people on the flight, people getting the luggage, to the cab drivers, when she's just so American and so unaware and so, as you said, Carl, uninterested. That's the offensive part.
Yeah. She thinks she's interesting, and so no one else is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to live your life until it's not.
I would love to see her interview Stuttering John. They're kind of the same.
Yeah. Oh, they would both talk about themselves the entire time. You know what Howard Stern is? No, I never heard about that. Well, it was a radio show. I once was on a radio show. I can only imagine. Detroit Dabbler is taking care of some behind-the-scenes stuff with a super chat. $5 says, Carol, I sent an email about this. Bought Dabble House twice. Never getting sent a password. If you get my email, could you send me one so I can watch? Thanks. Yes, of course, Detroit Dabbler. I thought I got back to everyone. I've been nonstop responding to people who couldn't find their password or were having issues. It was most of my weekend, to be honest. But my apologies. Send that to me again right now so it's at the top of the email list, and I'll make sure to get that taken care of for you. Detroit Dabbler, who is a fantastic supporter of the show, a guy we met in Detroit, and also a guy who's going to super chat Opie that we're going to see in a little bit. I have a clip, Detroit Dabbler talking to the Opester. That's a lot of fun. But first, we got to talk about my buddy Scorch.
Some are odd and some deranged, stories that are very strange. Weird news.
So, Scorch is in the motorhome, and he is promoting this tour they're on, going to the different dive bars. You know what he hasn't done yet is he hasn't done any shows from a dive bar.
Correct.
There's just no evidence of him being in a dive bar at all. It's just him and his buddy in the motorhome for some reason. And so they start off this special episode not understanding how to get the orientation right on the phone that he's using to film himself.
If I can, what is it? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Okay, I guess I have to do it this way. Okay. Hey, you guys, welcome to a very interesting and a very exciting round of Scorch's PFG TV. What this is, though, this is like a PFG TV midway point, would you say? Because by the way, I'm talking to Mike over here.
Season 2 and season 3. Yeah, we're just like between two.
Yeah, we're between season 2 and season 3.
How can you be doing shows between seasons? That's how that works. It seems like you started season 3. If season 2's over, they're declaring that so.
Why have bonus seasons? Content?
Yeah, I guess it's some type of bonus content
right.
they're doing.
He's like if sandpaper came to life.
Actually, it's funny you say that. He's about to brag about that in my next clip.
Just outside of Tampa, Florida. And what a great day. I'm going to tell you guys something. I was hoping this would happen. Boy, oh boy, am I going to be tan this year.
You don't seem impressed, Adam.
Yeah, I don't really see what's in that for me.
Oh, and he's really excited to tell you about how he's going to be tan this year.
Cool, bro.
He's hanging out in the sun.
That's great. You should be redder.
He's so happy. Oh, he's so happy to be out of Wisconsin. I don't blame him. I was just down in Florida. It is nice. It's nice to get out of the cold where we are up north and do this sort of thing. So the orientation thing, he was trying to go landscape, and now he's forced to go portrait because he doesn't know how to fix it. This goes on for a whole hour. But let's remember how this show works, guys. It starts with the opening shot. They all got to do a shot of alcohol to start things off.
Party. By the way, before I do anything else, can we do our opening shot? Mike, let's do our opening shot. And I want to say hey to Megan. If you're out there watching, Megan, we will have you on with us starting.
Yeah, we'll get you there.
Starting next week. Mike, here's the opening shot.
So I was excited to have Megan on the show. We haven't seen Megan since the last episode in the studio, or at the bar, I should say, for them.
Okay.
So this was from the previous week. I went to this week's show to see, let's see how Megan's incorporated in this new on-the-road version of their show.
We're live. Well, welcome to a really interesting edition of Scorch's PFG TV. Scorch here, my bud DBL. Well, now we're calling him DBL Mike. It's Mike Snow out in the front yard. Megan was going to join us today, but Megan had some issues with her the communication, the cell phone or her computer or something. So she'll be joining us next week.
I think Megan's gone.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
And in the last clip, I like the fact that they have to communicate this way to Megan instead of just the normal routes.
Right.
Yeah.
So Megan couldn't get her phone or her computer or something figured out.
She's apparently changed her number and issued a restraining order, so this is the only way I'm allowed legally to talk to her.
So that's not a good sign. Because he was explaining back on the show, he's just like, we're going to change things up, but Megan's still going to be a part of the show. I know Megan likes to drink, but maybe since they're not doing it from a bar anymore, she's just like, well, I'll just go to a bar instead. To be with you guys at all. Still have fun. All right, let's get back to the other episode where it's just the one shot portrait mode, and it's time to do the opening shot.
This is my maker's mark that Megan got me a while back. Mike's Shanky's whip. The opening shots to the future of divebarlocator.com. So there you go for that. Internet just working out well. Okay.
I'm concerned for our friend Scorch.
Yeah.
Rather than pour a shot into a shot glass, he is now drinking what looks like chilled Maker's Mark straight from the bottle.
Yeah, this is an opening guzzle.
This is a man who needs parental guidance or parental supervision because he's just like, I'm out on the road with my friend now. We're just chugging whiskey. I don't give a fuck.
Megan will return my calls. The dive bars will let me in.
Hey, Mike, who's driving?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I'm worried about these two. Actually, it's funny you say that because we are going to get some information about who is driving and how all of that works. Actually, I'll play the clip right here.
How we're doing things for Dive Bar Locator. We are driving. Literally, I mean, we've driven. Mike's driving the home. I drive around when we do little city runs. Okay, Mike drives the home when we do the work stuff. I drive the home when we go out and do the play stuff. So where was I going with this?
Nope.
Neither one of us know now. Okay, where was I going with this? You guys tell me.
Rhode Island.
I got right on when we. How we're doing this? Okay, okay. So
I don't like where this is going for these two. They're having a little too much fun on the road. It seems like.
I can smell that shot from here, man.
I know.
Yikes!
Could you imagine if your job was to drive around and hit as many bars as possible every single day?
I'd be dead in
a
couple weeks.
WATP would definitely not be as good a product.
No.
I believe I am overqualified. Hello.
Yeah, there's some people who would definitely fit that role very well. So Scorch doesn't have any content, so he's just like, guys, ask me questions. So he's looking at the chat, and someone asks about working for WAAF back in the day. So any stories from WAAF? And Scorch goes, well, I was actually invited over to Ozone's place, another famous DJ from that station. It's over at Ozone's house. And so, yeah, let's hear about that.
Ozone and I weren't the closest. We weren't not close. We just weren't the closest. And because, as you guys know, I don't have friends. But
there's nothing funny about that.
That was great.
We know that that's true. Scorch is friend repellent.
I love when people laugh when nothing's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me laugh.
We weren't very close because people don't like me.
I'm so alone.
Yeah, right. That's where that was going. Actually, holy shit, since you brought that up, these guys are sitting next to each other on this couch thingy, futon or whatever it is. And check this out.
Let me see. What else? Mike's playing footsies with me over. This is kind of fun. In a very weird way, but I'm alone right now, so it's kind of fun.
Ever since Megan left, it's just me.
Dude, this guy would go gay so quick. Like, not in prison, but in jail. You know, like overnight.
Overnight, lock up.
Scorch, you sucking that guy off? I've been in here for half an hour.
This is just the processing, Scorch. You still have to get inside.
I know, right? That was so sad.
Look at that face. It looks like Mike's blowing him.
Scorch, you've been pounded out. You can go.
In a minute.
Let's hear that again, because this is really the most pathetic thing I've ever heard.
Let me see. What else? Mike's playing footsies with me over. This is kind of fun. In a very weird way, but I'm alone right now, so it's kind of fun.
He caught himself. This is kind of fun. In a weird way, but I'm alone right now.
Jesus.
What does he mean he's alone right now?
Mike isn't a real person.
Mike's literally playing footsies with them. Sounds like it's their little foreplay action.
He's saying Megan's not here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And trying to make her jealous, I think.
Megan, this could be your foot.
Does he do footsies as well as I do?
Ugh.
You do phone better. Stop it. If it makes you feel any better. I know what you guys are thinking. I want to see what's doing in this motorhome. And so does everyone else.
Let me see what else. Can we get a tour of the home? I'm plugged in right now. You know what? One of these weeks, when we do another show, when Megan's here, because we'll do a tour of the home. Fair enough, right?
Yeah, like when we bring her on board, we just have to. We've been gone 4 days on the road.
Yeah, and the house is kind of dirty.
No,
so
I'm just saying I haven't had time to get the real equipment together.
Yeah, that's the thing. The reason we're even doing it this way, so you guys know, is because we just haven't had time to set anything up yet. Because frankly, we're just getting used to living in a motorhome and going around to places. But I got to tell you, it's been an amazing jaunt so far. If you have any questions you want to add to the bunch, please feel free. Keep it classy.
He goes, hey, can I show them around? He's like no, we can't do that. We've only been doing this for 4 days. Like, oh, is it too messy in here for you? I can already tell these two roomies are going to have issues. They were living together before this, but now they're in a motorhome together. I'm glad you and Vinny got along.
Yeah.
How long do you think that would last? Like week 2, week 3? Is it still
I don't
going
think
strong?
a week would be involved.
Right.
And you know, Scorch, there's
4.
some people that travel like this in groups, and they actually have to perform every night. Like, they actually have something to do. So when you're talking about, it's going to take us at least 4 or 5 days to just get used to this kind of living, we won't really be able to perform for you. That's not an excuse anyone would accept from any traveling act of any kind. Even a solo comedian, if he was like, I got to get used to all this, you'd be like, well, then don't tour.
Right. This is interesting. He talks about how Sunday morning is when they left Eau Claire, Wisconsin. 9 a.m. Sunday morning. And he kind of breezes by this, but I have questions.
9 a.m. It's freezing cold. Freezing cold. I was pale. I was sick. My eyes were just puffy, from crying, but B, just because Eau Claire wasn't good for me, man. There's nothing. Cool place. I love the area. I loved Wisconsin. I loved the Midwest. But you know what? It just wasn't a cool place for me. The
temperatures and the weather.
I was just sick a lot, and it didn't do anything for me. So
his eyes were puffy from being sick, but also crying a lot. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unbelievable.
What's your excuse
since
today?
Megan left, and I can't focus on anything.
Yeah, what do you think is going on here? Do you think he had to throw out all of his belongings because now he's just living in a motorhome with his buddy? Or is it the
you think he had belongings?
I don't know. I mean, or is it the realization that this is what his life is now and he's never going to be back on the radio again? Why is he bawling his eyes out after he's all excited he's finally going to go do the fun thing he wants to do?
He's acting like someone who just had a breakup. He's acting like somebody who just got dumped. He's acting like everything's, I'm all alone now. Well, I guess I'm gay now because there's no one else here. I guess.
Chugging hard liquor from the bottle. These are all signs of someone who's deeply depressed because they've been dumped.
And he spent all his money on that paint job.
He really did wrap that thing nice.
This was supposed to be their new home. And now it's just him.
Here's a fun question that comes in about his toothpick usage.
Crazy homes around the area.
I heard you write off toothpicks on your taxes. Isn't that true? If I did taxes, probably I would do that again. Yeah.
Oh, no.
If I paid taxes.
He makes so little money, he doesn't even pay taxes. That's not... When we talk about the poors a lot on this show, we talk about the Jake Hudsons and the Ray DeVitos and the Chad Zumachs, and we try to figure out what these people do for a living. But I don't assume that any of them make so little they don't pay taxes. Maybe Jake. This guy makes so little money. It's just like, hey, do you have those toothpicks? Funny joke, but actually I can't even write anything off.
But is
There's
that
no
a level
income.
of poverty? Is there a way to, I mean, if you work for 1 week at a fast food restaurant, you still have to pay taxes on it. If that's your only job for the year, I don't know what level you're not allowed to declare things. They won't take things out, but you have to pay taxes as far as I know.
If you make zero, is the only scenario that I know of.
But they're going to find something, right? They're going to find anything?
I mean, I thought he had sponsors on his PFG TV for a while. I thought he had say there's people there watching the show.
Gas in the mobile home is not cheap.
Oh, they bitch about that too. They do talk about they met up with this guy who sells CBD and THC infused beverages, and that guy was like, "Hey, do you guys want a sponsor for this thing?" And she's like, "Wow, we had a good conversation, so we might get a sponsor." Like, it would have happened if it was going to happen, but we'll see. Maybe they will. Now, how are they finding the right dive bars to go to be added to the dive bar locator? He needs our help, people. He needs our help.
Now, if you guys have any bars in your home areas that you would like to see us stop at, hang on.
Jesus.
Well, I'm drinking like water tonight. Holy balls.
Yeah.
You can get a hold of us through the Scorch, through the Facebook page, the Dive Bar Locator Facebook page. And then you just tag the bars and tag us.
Now, don't do this willy-nilly as a goof. Only serious tagging should be done on Facebook to show these guys what dive bars they should be contacting in your area. I know some people are going to be jokesters, trying to have some fun with this. Chuck E. Cheese's.
We're imploring you not to do that.
Don't do that. Whatever you do. These guys are serious businessmen.
Who don't pay taxes.
And for those who are just listening, it's a great and very impressive visual how he, mid-sentence, for some reason, had to take a swig from that bottle with the toothpick still in his mouth after he took the shot. It's pretty sad and impressive.
It's my only toothpick.
It's his only move.
Oh, no. I'm telling you, this is not going to go well for him. This is going to go
It's not going well now.
This is going to get worse before it gets better. And
when you keep taking shots and you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign.
Right. Like, oh, why am I chugging all this liquor so much? Because you have a problem and you're deeply depressed. Yeah. That would be it.
She's not coming back, buddy.
Lucas sent me this. He saw this on Facebook. And he says, I wonder if Scorch knows about this.
Welcome to the Dive Bar Shirt Club. This is how it works. Every month, you get a brand new t-shirt in the mail of an amazing dive bar or hidden gem. And included with that is an amazing sticker. And you get an amazing postcard with a whole description and history of the bar. What makes it so special, you can't get this shirt anywhere. This is one of my favorite bars, the Drunken Clam in St. Pete, Florida. This is not the shirt that's done at the Drunken Clam. This is specific to the dive bar shirt community. And they do it once a month, and they print it, they send it to you, and then it's retired forever. Check out the Dive Bar Shirt Club to find out more.
Now that sounds cool.
Well, it's actually a real business model. I don't know that I would want random dive bars I've ever been to, like the t-shirt. I guess that's something you're supposed to brag about. But yeah, here's the website, divebarshirtclub.com.
No, but I like that it's a one-off. That's
yeah, that's cool.
And the truth is, this is going to do nothing but help the bar. Like, there's no negative for the bar, but I would be like, did you just print a t-shirt of my bar and sell it and keep the money?
Yeah, right. I wonder, though, if Scorch knows about this. I should probably reach out to him. Look at all these locations they have. The whole map filled
There
out.
can't be that many dive bars.
We drove through there. There was nothing.
Are you guys ready for an update from yesterday what Scorch is doing. Thankfully, him and his team are doing a good job of getting online and letting us know what's going on with them.
We're having trouble. What a surprise we're having. Kids have me live on YouTube, Scorch. We're doing the dive bar locator thing. A lot of people said, hey, do some live stuff, updates and whatnot. Last night on the TV show, people were saying, do live stuff. I didn't bring my mic kit because I didn't realize we were going to do it. But here we are. We're in Key West. It's beautiful. There's a cruise ship, a Carnival cruise ship behind us, which is amazing. The thing is freaking huge. It's like 85 degrees at 10 o'clock.
I'm messing it all up. Good, just keep going.
Keep going. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. It's beautiful. And we're just having a good old time. Going to go have a cocktail. We can't even, there's a weird rule down here. We can't bring DBL1 out local.
Okay, so there's a lot of issues visually if you're not watching. He was getting, the green screen was showing up and you're seeing different things in the background. You couldn't really make heads or tails of it.
A torso sauntered by.
Yeah, they were trying to fix the audio, I think was what he was trying to do. But for some reason, that happened. So you just heard him say it's 10 a.m. They're about to get a cocktail. Again, I'm concerned. But let's hear this big announcement that he has.
And by cocktail, I mean whiskey in a bottle.
A cocktail. We can't even, there's a weird rule down here. We can't bring DBL1 out local down through Val Street. I think we can go through Key West, but we can't go through Key West at all. So you won't see DBL1 in Key West, but you see us other places. By all means, stop and let us know. One of the places I stopped at yesterday, one of the bars, the general manager said, oh, that's that home. It's parked in my neighborhood, which is kind of interesting. So DBL1 is getting noticed everywhere we go. If you see them out and about, why don't you, by all means, tag us, take a picture of it, tag us, let us know where you are. If you've got a bar in your area that you would like us to come to, tag us, let us know what it is. Facebook page, facebook.com, Dive Bar Locator. Of course, divebarlocator.com as well. And be on the lookout for DBL1 if you want to make a donation. You can always check out the websites as well. So there you go, Scorch and Mike and the DBL crew live in Key West on our lovely Scorch's PFG TV YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
I love that he goes, yeah, we were going to drive around in DBL1 and promote the thing, and they told us, yeah, no, you're not doing that.
There's a weird law.
Get that piece of shit off of our roads. Yeah. This is Key West. This is a classy place, asshole.
I'm genuinely scared for them.
Yeah, I know. Me too. In a fun way, though. Could you be scared for someone in a fun way? Probably not. Probably just being a dick.
Yeah, I think you can.
All right. So, yes, that's the latest. Scorch is living his best life right now.
He's PFG.
Somebody needs to sit him down and explain to him that she's not coming back and it's time to move on.
Oh,
Focus
no,
on the
it's
future.
so sad. He's pretty fucking good. Aiden Carroll, do you plan on having BJ on anytime soon?
Brian Johnson?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, have Brian Johnson on anytime soon.
Then yes.
He's great.
He will be in Vegas with us.
Oh.
As will Adam Bush.
I will be at Hackamania.
Yeah. Hackamania.com, promo code WATP. And save the date, June 21st. We will be in Boston. City Winery, June 21st. With the Dick Show. It will sell out. Save the date on that. More details.
I was promised an audience with Dr. Steve, and I'm going to hold on to that.
All right. Colin Madden, remember for 3 months, says, is that a toothpick or a, what does that say?
Virulent thrush? I'm going to assume it's that. Yeah, because it's not good, whatever it is.
Super Nintendo Chalmers, super sticker with $5. Thank you very much, Super Nintendo
Aurora
Chalmers.
Borealis.
Skinner.
Let's get into Rob Saul because you've been chatting with Rob on his show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, explain yourself, Adam.
That's fair.
What have you learned? Take us through these clips that you have. I want to know what's going on with Rob, who's the villain of the Dabbleverse. He wants everyone talking about him. He wants everyone super chatting him with insults, and he's gonna fire back. And then Adam and I did a segment on him, and he's like, "Fuck these assholes! What's this all about?"
It's really it was so. I don't know if he learned it from John or it's just who he is, but we made some comments about his show. I asked him some personal questions. He chose to answer them very honestly. We said how much we enjoyed that and wished he would just kind of do that. And he responded with sexual violence, rape, and just the worst kind of stuff you can even think of. Just like John, his first instinct is to go right to that. I said,
so we put a mirror up to him, and he punched a hole through the mirror and was mad at us for holding up a mirror in front of him. Okay.
And now his hand is bloody and full of glass,
Right.
and he's blaming us and looking at us like, why would you do this to me?
Right. That was the impression I got.
And it's not very much to trigger him. Really, I just say one or two words, and he kind of goes off, and we sit and watch. And it's very surprising and very interesting.
So start with number 1 here.
Is this from, which batch is this?
You sent me, oh shit, there are multiple batches. You sent me 1 through 5.
Is it a fresh batch?
I believe you emailed this over to
Is it Skull? Is this where he takes a drink? This is Rob. We did mention that we asked him when he was the most fucked up, and he said, oh, that has to be last night. So we said, wow, that's surprising that it happens to be the night before.
Right.
I guess that was a one-off, and that's not what normally happens during your show. And to prove us wrong, he opened last night with this.
Oh, no, why isn't that playing?
All right,
hold on a second. I'll get this for us. Give me 1 minute because I thought I had this video correct, and I can tell now that I do not.
He said he didn't think it was really me the whole time talking to him. He thought it was somebody else pretending to be me, which makes it even stranger as to then why did you answer those questions? Like, you're so hurt by it, but it was your choice to answer them. If you're going to open up your show to super chats and answer them, you can't really blame the audience if you don't like the questions. I'm just trying to keep it interesting because I'm fascinated by anybody who's fascinated by John.
All right, guys. It's my last 99 peanut butter skull.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Whoa, he's drinking 99 peanut butter? What are we, 15? What are we, 12?
Chasing it with jelly.
And he's chasing 99 peanut butter. Call yourself an alcoholic, sir?
Whew.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dog. Get me another beer.
Okay.
Good idea. Oh, no.
He's gonna puke.
All right. Well, that's always a good thing to do in the middle of your show is chug a bunch of alcohol and then get up and leave.
Now, if I did this and someone asked if I have an alcohol problem, I would not be offended.
Right. Yeah, when we were talking about how he's probably drinking to suppress all the horrible thoughts in his brain.
That
He's
he
like,
mentioned.
Fuck you. That was one time.
Yeah. So one time I get messed up, and now you're going to accuse me of being a... By the way, he's still gone this whole time. This is his show, and he thinks I'm ruining it.
It's pretty good stuff. Who's on the phone with him, by the way? Who's talking to him during this?
One of his regulars, very supportive.
Okay. Hello there. Oh, he's back.
Mm-hmm. Definitely didn't throw up.
Well, hello there.
He's gonna puke. No, I ran out. I finished.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, props to you, Rob. You didn't puke after drinking your chick drink.
And thanks for proving us wrong.
Yes. All right. This is where he starts getting triggered by you in the chat. Anything to set up with this?
Yeah, I said skull.
Okay.
And that was too much for him. That was way too much. Over the line.
He's gonna puke. Hi, look, Adam. Adam Bush is here. Who? What's that? Carl's gay lover, Adam Bush. Mm-hmm. You want to ask me any probing?
Oh, I got a picture of Adam Bush too.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll send it to your. Twitter.
If you want to.
So that's how you know this guy has some wit to him.
Mm-hmm.
He sees that Adam and I do a show together, and he goes, "Butt buddies."
Mm-hmm.
You know who else did that with me and Vinny Paulino? That would be one of the greatest off-the-cuff insult comics of our generation, stuttering John Melendez.
But he didn't even know it was gay when he said it. He didn't even know
it was offensive.
Just thought I meant best friends, like they do on Long Island.
Ask me any probing questions. Hey, one time I got high and my thoughts were crazy and they're like, Rob Saul's trapped with his haunting thoughts.
Oh, now that's a wheelchair. That's a wheelchair prison.
Yeah, he's in his own prison. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm married to an elderly woman hanging out with a gay guy. Love it. What are you boys doing in there? Leave us alone, mom, wife. Me and my friend Adam are playing.
So he's doing the thing that I see a lot of these retards do, where it has nothing to do with what we said when we were talking about Rob's show and we were observing it and analyzing it. Now it's turning into, oh, remember Kevin Brennan said a thing about a mom wife? So now it's like my wife Jen tells me what to do and barks orders and yells at me. Not having anything to do with reality and not being funny or interesting, but this is like the angle that he goes with.
Sure.
And so when you're talking about me, he has to immediately go to Hot Pockets and why are you playing with your friend or whatever the fuck he's doing here in this little performance.
He doesn't even know what he's offended by. That's why it's all so general. And he doesn't want to really watch it. He doesn't want to see. And at some point he says, like, I don't even remember what I was saying. We believe you.
Yeah, we know.
And that's the point.
Give it to me, Carl. Give it to me, Carl. Give it to me. What are you boys doing in there?
Yeah, that was kind of
all right. You sent.
I'm glad to get the megaphone out for that. Our gay sex romp.
Yeah,
I love his brief moment when he shakes off the character and goes back to being Rob.
Right.
Method process.
End scene. I'm gonna blow your minds. I think Scorch is happier than Rob Saul.
Yes, I think you're right about that. They both have a lot
He's
of
got a
demons.
mobile home.
right?
Me, what'd you send me?
A portrait of Adam Bush. Adam Bush in his Hollywood days.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only Adam Bush.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Where did they find that?
Yeah, what's that Muppet?
I'm naked.
Sam the Eagle.
Sam the Eagle.
Adam, I'm very sorry about this.
This is rough.
You ambushed me. First of all, I mean, he's not inaccurate. That's pretty. That's I'll take
Not
it.
bad.
Not wrong.
I would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Who would I be? That guy with his eyes painted on his glasses? I forget what his name is.
Oh, Beaker?
Not Beaker. I hope not. Anyway, I could be wrong.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Jesus. You're incredible. We did a Springfield. We did a Simpsons trivia thing. I think the Muppets trivia. I'm on your team for that one.
I know. I like how they listen to me talk about being high, and they go like, and Adam Bush is like,
look at you, Adam. You really made it in the Dabbleverse.
Yeah.
Rob does an impression.
Joke's
of
on you, Rob. Adam's never on mic.
Yeah, I wish you would do that. My audio editor would love it.
Carl's like, oh my God, Adam, you really got to the heart of Rob Saul. Somebody even tweeted me today, like, we heard that you're trapped in your haunting thoughts day and night. I'm like, I talked about one time when I got high, and anybody that's had a bad high on edibles knows that you get like, you just have crazy type of like self-reflection and all, you know.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. I know that he did talk about how there was a bad high situation. He was being haunted, but was he talking about how he couldn't sleep at night?
I'm so glad you picked up on
This wasn't just a one-off thing. He was talking about how he has lots of regrets in life and he wishes he'd handled things differently. And you asked him about regrets, and he said, my ex-wife and my daughter and his cousin.
I said,
who
what
married
keeps
his
you up at
ex-wife."
night?
Yes.
That's
right.
all I said. He could have said, the TV or the barking dog.
Cocaine.
Anything. He explained how he, every night, goes over every mistake he's made during the day and says to himself, I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here, and that he can't stop doing this. Then someone else said, hey, when's the last time you got real high? And then he told a random story about the time he got high. Those were two different things. And it wasn't a one-off. I asked you, what keeps you up at night? You had a very revealing answer, and we loved it and asked you for more of that. And you responded by saying we should fuck each other. Good one.
And dare I say, I think he learned something about himself. Because as he was telling the story about how he repeats to himself this mantra of I hate it here, he goes, and I think what I'm referring to is inside my own head. Like he was analyzing it on the fly, going, I hate it here. What is here? Oh, here is me. That's what here is. I hate me. And we were watching him come to this epiphany, and we're like, wow, this is great. This is riveting stuff, Rob. This is what the show should be. And then we did that, and he goes out and he goes, fuck you, you weird.
Just like John, he gets to the point of actualization and then retreats and goes, fuck you all for making me have a feeling.
Stuff like that. And I was just describing the experience, and they're like, this is how Rob Saul lives every day. And you know what? Maybe he deserves it. Adam Bush is like,
that sounds like a lot of projection.
I know. It really does sound like a lot of projection.
Okay, yeah, Rob, maybe it's projection. There was a time in my life where I was unhappy in the building that I was living in. I felt claustrophobic, but I had to stay there for reasons. I became obsessed with prison shows. I would watch them all the time, the lockups. I was never interested before. Now I was obsessed, and when I'd meet friends, I would talk to them. Did you hear about this prison in Brazil where they blah, blah, blah? It took a friend to say, you know, ever since you moved into that place you're uncomfortable in, you can't stop talking about prisons. Do you think there's a correction? And I said, go fuck your friend. No, I said, God, you're right. I guess, I got to do something about this. Yeah. And I did something about it because, you know, I have some degree of self-respect. I didn't just stay there and do a podcast about what an asshole that friend is.
Not prediction, projection.
I mean, Adam Bush was, I think he was like a child actor, and he did like Disney shows or something. So.
Really? I know. From what John told me, I mean, I talked to John today. We didn't talk about Adam Bush,
well,
but
I can tell you, if John told you that, it's definitely factual in nature.
John has told me in the past that before he started ball washing Shulie and Carl, you know, on this
fucking ball washing thing. So we do shows together. We get along. We have similar viewpoints on things. Sometimes we argue about stuff, or you enlighten me to something I didn't know about. Maybe vice versa happens every once in a while. There's no ball washing going on. I don't never even watch Buffy. My wife loves it. She thinks you're great.
It's just trending like cuck and work and the turn.
Grift.
Now it's ball washing.
Yeah.
And just to make something clear, Carl and I have a mutual friend. I've been a fan of this show for a long time before I ever got involved. And I had my friend reach out to Carl. We exchanged info. Carl said, oh, my wife knows this show Adam is on. This could be great. And then we sat there for like 6 months because he's not just going to throw some random TV guy on his show to talk bullshit. He wanted there to be a reason that would, you know, be exciting to his audience. So it wasn't until I myself just showed up on John's show randomly that Carl was like, oh shit, now I got something to talk to this guy about. I don't know anything about TV or this stuff, but this I want to talk about. So we got involved. I don't understand what the problem is with that. I've remained consistent. I'm a fan of the show. I'm not a fan of others. I like to watch all of this stuff. I like to get involved in the chat. I like watching your show, Rob, and I love talking to you when you're honest and open. It's this stuff that's unnecessary.
Stupid. Hey, let's watch everything Stuttering John does. And now Rob saw that Adam Bush was...
That's what you wanted. There was literally this... What was the thing they did, him and John, where he's just like, can I be the Duke now of the Dabbleverse?
Mm-hmm.
And John anointed him the Duke of the Dabbleverse. Because Rob's just like, I want everyone talking about me. I've been avoiding it because I find it to be a tremendous bore, but Adam actually found an angle that was interesting where you opened up about yourself. So we went, great, let's talk about this. And now he's like, oh, what the fuck? These guys are just going to talk about me? You've been inviting us to talk about you for months, and we've avoided it. It's the same thing with fucking Zumach. It drives me insane. He's just like poking at you. Hey, Carl, I'm doing a whole show about you. Hey, Carl, hey, I know all your friends too, and I fucking hate them all, and I'm calling them losers. So you go, hey, Chad, you're not very good at this. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, what'd I do? Rob Saul is
Retards.
labeled the Dabbleverse villain.
That's what he wants to do.
Yes.
And then as soon as you go, oh, Rob, you got some demons, man. You need to work that out. Fuck you. Why are you even talking about me?
This is this is how evil happens. This is how monsters are created. They lash out at everyone, and the second it comes to them, like, oh, that is not the same. There is a different set of rules, and I will do whatever I can and take down whoever I can, say whatever I can think of to resist having to do any self-reflection.
Yes. That's a commonality between these retards.
Begging to come on.
Sorry, Jake.
John's show.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is where he's describing that, I talked to John about Adam Bush, and Adam was begging to go on John's show. And we've been over this. We don't have to go through it again. But Adam reached out to John and patiently
So if you're the new Dabbleverse villain, Rob, wouldn't that make sense that I'm begging to come on your show? Isn't that what happens?
It should be
I'm a groupie.
Right.
Yeah, I did see. I did see that nasty meal on the Mr. McMahon documentary. That.
Okay, so that's the end of that clip. All right. So now we're going to talk about the thing that we addressed earlier on in this program, Shulie hiding in his car from Stuttering John Melendez. Something that I'm sure the Shulie detractors all believe because they want to.
Is Adam Bush still here? Reverend Billy wants to know, Adam, tell the truth. Was Shulie hiding in the car? We already got the video. Didn't we get we got video of Shulie hiding in the car, Adam? Hold on. Where is it?
Why be prepared? Take your time.
I have a clip of 2 years ago, actually, of that Anon producer sent me of Stuttering John trashing Joe's wife 2 years ago. Jeez. But I'm trying to find the clip, the breaking news of Shulie hiding in his car, but I can't because Anon producer's inbox is his last clip he sent me. He sent it 85 times in the last 3 minutes. So it's hard to find old clips now. Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Adam Bush, we got him. Hold on. We have it. We've got raw footage. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Shulie was hiding in the car at Stevie Tomatoes. Breaking footage was found. I was able to get footage from the Stevie Tomatoes surveillance.
That's going to be good.
I don't know if you know this. And here it is.
Play the video.
Here's the live video.
All right, so
Shulie doesn't look bad. He doesn't look bad.
If you're listening to the show, Rob, who's wearing the exact same shirt in this video as he is hosting the show, so it's, I guess, recorded earlier this day.
2 years ago.
This is Rob doing his Shulie impression with the big Jew nose and everything, with a car as his green screen, still sitting at his desk with his computer and everything else. Car as his green screen, and he's doing this thing where he's pretending to be hiding.
The tape. What's he doing?
Now, what I want you to look at here is Rob cracking himself up. All that's happening right now is Rob's watching Rob. And Rob is laughing hysterically over there on the left watching this. And he even starts to mimic himself. It's like when you saw John mouthing the words.
I was just going to say he learned from the best.
Yeah. Stuttering John would rewatch things from the Howard Stern show where he's calling Gary a big tooth retard or whatever he's doing. Sorry, Jake. I guess I've used that word. And John's actually mimicking.
With a tear in his eye.
Yeah, along with him. Watch, Rob's doing the same thing.
I saw John right now.
That just keeps getting funnier.
There you have it.
Oh, that was it. Okay.
We've got tape out, so you guys can.
Maybe it was you.
Maybe it was you that was hiding in the car.
Holy shit.
Shit. Shulie, maybe it was you.
Rob, can I ask you a question,
Rob?
Rob?
Hiding like Anne Frank.
Rob, what the fuck does this have to do with me?
Yeah,
This is your rebuttal to me.
You know what? I got lost there.
Yeah.
For a little bit of a disconnect.
He said, is Adam Bush here? Is Adam Bush in the chat? Okay, make sure he's here. Okay, great. Now watch this. What does that have to do with me, Rob? And explain it to me in a way that is not anti-Semitic. Go.
Good luck with that.
No, what does John always say? And now you. What does he always say?
I'll wait.
What say you? I'll wait.
I'll wait.
Right. I'll wait.
He's in the car. He's in the car.
Yeah, we got the joke.
Boy.
Is that it?
Well, you know.
He's got to shake off the character and get back to being
right. Every time with that. All right, so this next video, Rob is pulling out. Oh,
It was you. Adam went on once and then he stabbed a Duke in the back. He stabbed a Duke in the back. Yeah,
Don't cross the Duke.
Yeah, cross the Duke. Yeah. I really don't believe this. Stuttering John would try to avoid Shulie or Carl. I heard Carl was hiding there. It's probably his mom and wife. All right, you boys behave. You stay away from my Carl. You know what? You know what, Jonathan? I want to talk to your mother. Before you and my Carl in the same room, I think us moms need to talk. You bring your mother out here, all right? Before we have this gathering at Stevie Tomatoes, all right? I'd like to talk to your mother, John.
So just like Stuttering John, he's also working on his one-man show. That's good.
Mm-hmm. A lot of characters.
John brings his mind. Listen, if our boys are going to be playing together, Steven...
This is how the Bronx Tale started. I mean, there could be in the future a movie based on my mom wife and Stuttering John's mom having a conversation about us two playing together.
Lock the doors. Lock the doors, Mom.
Tomatoes. I'm going to need them to be nice to my Carl. My Carl's just joshing around. He's friends with Anthony Cumia. Stuttering John is still talking to Kate Meany. I mean, those tapes are old. I mean, as far as I know, John.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good stuff.
Great bit. Great bit.
So
Really
Rob
pulled it all
learned
together.
always be bashing
Mhm.
and never be embarrassed.
Right. Yeah. And always laugh at yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Always crack yourself up.
Yo, you pointed it out. It's one thing to put this out there, to watch it and then be proud of it.
Mhm.
You know, I think you can do a little better, Rob. I think there are plenty of low-hanging ways to make fun of me. You don't have to go to, histrionics and just crazy voices and Shylock stuff. I think you can particularly
Well, he called you
make
gay,
fun of
too.
me. That's true, and that hurt a lot.
Yeah, you got
a
you
lot.
there. All right, Rob. Let's see what his big comeback is for that video that we put out about him.
This is what radio looks like. What? Traffic in the background? Like I don't know.
Yeah, he's so fucking happy to be back on radio.
Oh my God! Hey, remember that time when we was on radio before when it was popular? Remember, Jimmy? Remember?
Is he talking about Anthony and Jim Norton on WABC this past Sunday night, which was fantastic?
Yes, he is.
I had a lot of fun listening to that. It was great to hear those two together again, and E-Rock was there too. But it was great to hear Jim and Anthony back together again.
It's really tough, Rob. It's really tough for you to shit on what those people are doing while you're doing this, because if you don't want to be doing that, what is this?
Hey, he's building to something here, Adam. Let's see where he's going with this.
Okay.
Used to walk across the street and film it.
Yeah, we'd film it, and Rich Voss would talk to people. We'd have a shopping cart. Remember that? This is radio. Adam Bush says, I was not at Dabble House. I am still in Whalia. If I had information on where the Shulies were hiding, I would report it. I agree with your funny Stevie Tomatoes bit. Only a child would call someone's parents. He got me because John Carter, Shulie's the dad.
Correct.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
called being a hypocrite.
Yes, this is hypocrisy police.
That would be us.
They're
We'd be the
outside
officers.
knocking on the door.
Oh, Adam Bush. He's got him. Wait till they get this clip on WATP.
Well, we don't have to wait that long.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's happening
The
right
future is
now.
now.
Yes, pretty
I was
excited.
excited. And even though you take your show down, Rob, I can still record it.
I love it. This has been
And if you
taken
don't
down.
want people to accuse you of having inappropriate relationships with dogs, why are you wearing a shirt that says doggy style? In both this and the clip.
Well, it's his version of leaning into it, but then he also gets upset. When
Right,
people
you
accuse
can't
him
do
of that.
both.
So he does it both ways. You're just like, well, no, you can't. Okay,
You
idiot.
can lean into people and go, whoa, 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 why are you in my face?
Right.
Adam Bush will be watching like this. Oh, Rob Saul don't even know we got him. We got him.
All right, are you going to address what
Is he gonna-
he got him, or are you just going to do this dumb thing where you got?
A comeback of any kind? You're gonna
Yeah,
show
yeah. I
me?
mean, floor is yours, Rob.
Hit
Go
me.
ahead. What do we got for us?
Go
Let's
ahead.
He's trapped with a wheelchair of his own thoughts.
Oh, that really stuck with him. I don't think we.
Mm-hmm.
I think we made the joke about Quadfather, right? The wheelchair prison, because that's what John said to Quadfather.
Yeah, we said that, compared to this mental prison that he described,
Right.
Quad doesn't seem that conflicted. He doesn't seem to have mental turmoil. There might be physical limitations, but he seems pretty stable and comfortable.
But we pointed that out, and Rob keeps bringing it up over and over again. This really bothered him. Obviously.
And when I sent you some clips, but if you watch the whole thing, he did this over 2 shows for a very long time, and he never showed that clip. He didn't want people to see that, and he made references to not even remembering. Right? Don't even know what happened.
Of course.
Which is a great excuse for your show.
Adam,
Yeah.
I mean, is this what you think your big break in entertainment is?
He better. He better think that. It's fucking on WATP every Wednesday, motherfucker.
It's going on Carl's show. Snaggletooth Carl getting pounded in the ass by Carl while his wife bakes pizza rolls, thinking you boys are playing video games. And
so this is this is someone who does not know how to think on his feet or come up with any type of witty banter. He goes right back to the same bit he always does about me. This reminds me of when during the Kate Meany tapes, Kate brings up Shulie. What do you think Shulie's doing right now? And John goes, I don't know, probably watching his wife put on tons. She goes what? Because John's thing is like Shulie's wife is fat. So that's the only place he can go to. And so with this, it has nothing to do with me, obviously, but with this, all of a sudden he's just like, well, Carl's wife is making pizza rolls.
It would sound amazing.
I can make my own fucking pizza rolls.
Show off.
I have oven privileges in this house.
I mean, he can't take a nap electively, but he knows how to heat up some
Right,
pizza rolls,
correct.
for God's sakes. Let me ask you something, Rob. Why is it always childish parents? Like, Carl's expressed, to some degree, having a healthy relationship with his parents. I know I do. They come out to shows. They support. They know what I do. They're involved. We get along. So this parents humiliating us is not a threat. It doesn't make me feel bad. There's no scenario where my parents are taking away my ability to work or do my job or even hurting my feelings at this point. It happens when you reach adulthood. So why is this all such childhood stuff? I'm talking about very common mental issues, and you're talking about like playground bullying stuff.
Yeah, he really does. Every time he talks about me, he brings me back into a scenario where I'm 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hiding from my parents and doing devious things and asking for pizza rolls. It's like I haven't lived a life like that in many decades. I'm a grown adult that can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, well, again, steal from the best. Stuttering John was his mentor, and John threatens people with things he's afraid of.
Yes.
And the same thing's happening.
Yeah.
He's going to make fun of things that he doesn't want to be made fun of.
doing some tomfoolery. It's nuts.
You do a show that asks for chats so you can answer them. Why is this so crazy? I thought there's freedom of speech. It wasn't offensive. What's the problem? I asked a question and you answered it. What did you think was going to happen when you started this show? What else is it supposed to be about?
Yeah, he doesn't have a show format. So he's doing the laziest thing anyone can do, reading the chat. and he wants to be the villain. He's got it written right there on the screen, Dabble versus villain. Someone goes in and goes, hey, Rob, seems like you got some mental issues and you might have some problems. Fuck you. Why is this happening right now?
What are you talking about?
What did you think was going to happen?
I've been doing this for a really long time, and I've been playing almost exclusively like evil characters since I was a kid. And I'm fascinated by it, and I keep bringing up the similarities I see. And I think the reason I found a niche in playing bad guys is because I find a way, if not to sympathize, just to relate somehow to the circumstances or whatever the situation is. I find it fascinating and extremely revealing by a lot of these people, which is why I can't look away, because it's not just happening, you're broadcasting it for us to see, which to me is just amazing. That's why I love it. What do you like about it, Rob?
Yeah, you're not a guest on a show that sandbagged you. You showed up for this. This was your idea every single day to do this, and then you're upset when this happens, which is inevitable. It's the only way it could happen.
And why are you asking me to answer for where Shulie was hiding? What is that? I wasn't there, Rob. I wasn't there.
I got a text from my buddy Anthony, as Rob calls him. Anthony Kumi just texted me. He said, watching Rob is like watching someone having an authentic nervous breakdown. He's incoherent and way overactive.
Yeah.
The incoherent is so spot on. He doesn't even know what he's saying. Like you were saying before, he's talking about Adam, and then he's talking about Shulie. You're like, wait, what does that have to do with me? I thought you were talking about me, but now Shulie's in a car hiding from John. Are you all right, man? You want to take a beat? You need a minute?
Cool guy, Shulie. Yeah. You didn't know about cool Shulie, did you?
I'm sure he settles down now.
All right. We gotta shoot some new photos for the Shulie Network, press photos for the Dabble House.
No, when'd you get the ball cap?
You know what this reminds me of? I saw Limp Bizkit over the summertime because Corey Feldman. Oh, hold on. Let's see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Because Corey Feldman was opening for him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been at a Limp Bizkit concert. Okay. But they played break stuff first and last.
Yes.
Like there are certain bands that have to play their hit song multiple times during the show. This guy just out of nowhere just like, let me grab my Junos and make fun of Shulie now. Like, okay.
He's doing it again.
Yeah, why not?
Does he think this hurts me?
I don't know.
Does he think this? I can't ask him any more questions because of what he did to Shulie?
I have no idea. I don't know what he thinks he's doing.
He can't hear you. The Junos is on.
So it really is like a mental breakdown.
What's that? What'd you say?
Where'd you get the ball cap?
The ball cap?
Yeah, there's a ball cap, right?
I thought you said the ball. I do have a bald cap for sure.
Oh, well, please show us that.
And a whoopee cushion.
This is going to get so much funnier.
This is the actual.
Do you have a slide whistle, Rob?
Hold on, but let me do that.
Christ.
You would think it's a commercial break in SNL right now. All right, quick, let's go. We got Skit 7 coming up. Nope. There you go. Oh,
Got our good buddy Adam Bush in the chat room.
Wait, Shulie was on this show? I didn't. What the?
Only John thinks that's funny. We don't laugh at the that's John's thing. We don't like that.
Yeah.
You need a backpack, dude.
Oh. Yeah, I did have the back.
Yeah, Shulie's the only guy who owns a backpack. That's really true. That's a good point. That would complete this
Backpack for the Shulie car bit earlier. I did bring a backpack out, but
good stuff.
This has nothing to do with us.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I know one guy who would love Rob's song.
Well, what a smug faggot that Adam Bush is. And
what was that, Rob?
I'll tell you that. Just a couple fun-loving fags. That.
Holy shit! These insults are getting worse and worse. Rob, you're terrible at this, man. This is really bad.
Talk about fags. Where's the final boss tonight?
It's Aaron Imholt level. Oh, you don't like me? You're gay. You're so gay. Like, oh, shit. Fuck. Destroyed. You got me. Damn.
He's saying, someone call in. Call in.
They're trying to help you, Rob. They want you to stop.
Yeah, it's not going well.
These people care about
language. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more 99 peanut butter you want to? And that's the thing, too. The fact that his liquor tastes like peanut butter. I mean, there's jokes that I didn't even go for because they're so low hanging. But fuck, man. What grown adult has 99 anything in their house? What about 99 peanut butter?
It's the kind of thing someone brings to the party and gets left there for 12 years and then you finally throw it out.
Well, you know who brings that to the party? A pedophile. Trying to get a 14-year-old girl drunk. If you bring that shit.
How does that work?
Yeah, I called him. I asked, what keeps you up at night, Rob? And he called me a faggot.
Yeah, what does that say?
You know, I've taken some improv classes, and there's none that steer in that direction.
Those two dots do not connect at all.
Fag and.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to talk about Quadfather? The clip you sent me over of Quad?
Yeah, he's reviewing Dabble House. And he's not a fan, it seems. Not into it, but he seems open to suggestion. I feel like if you were to, hit him with another point of view, he would be willing to hear it. And clearly that's more than we can say about our friend Rob and a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Moving along, folks. We'll jump right into Diddle House. Is it? Diddling House?
Diddy
or
House.
Dabble House. Dabble House. Content. It's fucking Frank. It's right. AIDS. Not hearing aids either.
No, isn't that Aaron Imholt derangement syndrome? Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah, exactly. That's what AIDS stands for. Exactly. All right.
Hey,
let's go ahead. Adam Bush is on there. Check that out, man. We got a celebrity, an actual celebrity. Let's hear it.
Shulie's there. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what
we got. What do we got?
I may have some breaking news.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we got. So this was just sent to me. I can't confirm it before, but they said to give it to you anyway.
I thought I was listening to Rob again right there.
There is I guess we would call this a statement from the Duke.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought he was out of the Deadpool first. All right, let's see what he's got here. Oh, my God. Yeah, even. Okay.
I have a statement I'd like to make. You're going to have to read it because I can't.
I can confirm that I was at Stevie Tomatoes in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida from 5 p.m. until around 7:45 p.m.
So right now what we're doing is we're just watching BYB, I would imagine. This is a Quadfather, the host of BYB, watching Point Dabble Point from Friday before we went behind the paywall. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because he's commenting about as much as Kevin Brennan would. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do something.
And his retorts consist of,
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately, I had to cut the evening short to appear on the well-regarded Steve Trevelise show on New Jersey 101.5, where I promoted my upcoming appearance at Chillers Con April 25th through the 27th at the Hilton in Parsippany, and my third gig at the Stress Factory. Outside of the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. Now, I don't expect the shitware and Silent Mike to understand any of this. Radio interviews, promo spots, real gigs, that kind of professional.
That's like a ChillerCon is a real gig in this guy's mind.
Don't be mad because you're not booked at ChillerCon.
Good point.
Dude, how happy are we that Virgil is dead now? John could be the new lonely Virgil. It's going to be incredible. That kind of professional achievement is well outside their skill set, talent level, and pay grade. Please let my track record speak for itself. I don't run from conflict. I run towards it. That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's not bluster. It's fact with video evidence. I've gone toe-to-toe with AJ Benza. I've confronted Ralph Sorella, R.I.P. Holy shit. I stepped into the ring with Crazy Cabby, another R.I.P. Most recently, I faced off against Fatty Patty and the bastard of puppets, Rocco Burrow. the shitware coward from a munchkin named the Bagel Boss, but suddenly he's the brave one.
Bastard of Puppets, is that a new one? He's coming up with all these new nicknames now.
He didn't write a word of this shit. He didn't write.
I mean, it doesn't
any
make
of
sense
this.
at all. But it's
Is this real? Did
So
the Duke
the
write it?
idea that I duck out.
Like, I don't understand. So Carl just said none of it makes any sense at all. Like, no, actually, every single word of it actually makes sense to me.
Can I explain myself?
Please.
When I said that doesn't make sense, Bastard of Puppets. Okay, I understand the word bastard is close to master, but I don't know why Tukey would be the bastard of puppets. I understand why someone would say that, but I don't think it's a good nickname. I don't think it makes sense.
Well, he was going for a joke, and then he realized master sounds too positive, so he had to go with bastard, and then he lost the thread.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's literally why I said that. Now these two are going to pontificate on what I was talking about when I go, that doesn't even make sense.
Rochi, what say you to, like, obviously, right? I mean, you say what you want, dude. He does have more of a storied career, and he has confronted people. Like, the only part that he fucked up on was Rocco Burrow part. Other than that, I would agree with everything he said up to that point. Correct?
Yeah, you're not wrong. But I think what Cole was trying to say there, and again, at the risk of being a Cole ball washer too, I think what Cole's realised is, nobody in our audience is going to believe that Stuttering John sent you this note. Right, because that would indicate or allude to the fact that you or somebody in that camp is talking to John on a regular basis. Right.
True.
Second of all, let's be honest, Quad. If John knew Shulie was in that car park, right? I was thought of this after like calling Shulie out for not fighting John. Why didn't John go and confront Shulie and go live? Because we saw John go live when he went to Brennan's apartment, right?
Right.
We saw John. Well, he didn't go live when he went to Melton's place. He just released a video, right?
Okay.
But it is making me wonder whether this is a bit of a Shulie work, Quad.
Wait, why would it be a Shulie work?
Yeah, but he doesn't say that he knew he was out in the parking lot.
No, I'm saying, in my mind, I'm thinking, if Shulie was in the car park, right, and I'm giving Shulie shit for not going and confronting John, then why didn't John confront Shulie in the car park then? Because if he left, he would have seen Shulie in a car, right? I imagine.
Maybe. It's hard to say
I'm
that
just,
for sure.
Yeah, thinking out loud. That's all.
But plus, I mean, I'm not, and yeah, you know, I'm not a stuttering John ball washer. That's probably the most apparent thing here. But the fact that
brilliant analysis, guys. I am not a Carl ball washer. Well, you know what? I'm not a stuttering John ball washer. Good stuff, guys. I'm learning a lot from this. What is going on right now, Adam? All I know is that I went to Stevie Tomatoes. I got there early because we saw that John was there. John had already left before we got there. And all these people have made up all these stories about hiding in cars and not confronting and John should have confronted and this should have happened and that should have happened.
You see these politicians on these talk shows and they have a line that they have to tote and they stick to it.
Yeah.
And this person asked, the British gentleman asked the question I was asking earlier. So if Shulie was in the parking lot, why didn't John walk over and confront him?
Right.
And Quad thought about it. He received it. He took a long pause of silence, and then he started hemming and hawing, and then he said he's not a Carl ball washer. And
Stuttering John ball washer.
Stuttering John washer, and then he just kind of moved on. I don't understand. Answer the question. If you're fair on all sides, just answer the question. It's a very honest question.
It's the reason why some shows are not as popular as others.
It's crazy. It gets under 100 every episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like genuinely interested in a Dabbleverse week wrap up. I would love that.
Right.
And I kind of tune in every week, and it's tough. I want it to be good, but it's really tough, and it feels like I'm watching propaganda.
Well, I'm sure
this feels like to other people.
I'm sure Clearwater Channel do a great job on Be Dabbling Live when he does his Dabbleverse wrap up.
It's that actually. You know, I never. I'll put it this way. I liked Clearwater Chad the most when he did that wrap up on Tukey's show. It reminded me of the way Stern knew just how to use those people. There was something about the choices Chad made and what he thought was the news of the week. That was so great.
It was hilarious. I forgot what he said about WATP, but there was like one comment. Maybe it was about Rob Saul or something. One comment we made. I was just like, "Oh, that's news." That's what I said on the show.
Yeah,
okay.
I love it.
Can't imagine He was in a rush to leave though, because he had to go. I guess it only takes 2 seconds to go over to Shulie and be like, "Yeah, you fucking pussy," and walk off. So I guess that's somewhat of a bad excuse.
It'll be interesting.
That he was in a rush to go to his radio interview and didn't want to start like a whole scene. But yeah, I get your point for sure. Yeah, he could have definitely said something.
What time this live stream was, and when Cardiff's tweet was sent out. And where that video you played earlier, whether that come out before this too, because there's some information in there that seems very coincidental. Now, if this letter come out before the Cardiff tweets, I would say fair enough. More likely that might be Stuttering John. And as Shulie said, John didn't write it; he got somebody else to write it for him, maybe.
Yeah. And whatever. Obviously, I didn't go look and track down the times to compare them or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I do that. Just accuse people of things
the
first.
Notes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, how stupid was it for us to do Dabble House? Meanwhile, all we did was go to a bar, and there's all these shows talking about it. John's calling into Brennan to talk about it. Wow, we're such idiots for doing something like that.
And good on his co-host. He laid out all the timeline. He asked the real questions. He presented it to his host, and his host was looking at him like, "Can you shut the fuck up?"
Quad didn't have a lot of answers. We're going to be hanging out with Quadfather, I believe, at Hackamania. I think he's coming to that.
Outstanding. I can't wait to meet him.
So we can ask him questions. You know who else is going to be there is one Cardiff Electric. What's up, Cardiff?
Hello. And for the record, Rochi, the tweet went out before the letter was read.
God, this whole timeline is so ridiculous.
Well, someone has to put all the pieces together, Carl.
I guess so. I don't know what we're going to prove and what we're going to learn from any of this. But, Cardiff, I have an Opie segment coming up. I know you guys were talking Opie last night on Tukey Soup.
All positive.
Okay. Well, we can keep it positive today as well.
It's a pro Opie segment. He's on a winning streak.
Yeah. You got a good dig in at Anthony. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover people covering that. There's a lot
Can I ask you, Cardiff, what happened to when you were going to appear on his show? What happened?
What happened to that? You're still in talks, right?
We're still in talks. We're in talks for this Friday. Again, he did apologize for not responding to me. He acknowledged it on the show, and that was it. Maybe
I don't like Opie big timing you, Cardiff. You're the talent on that show.
He likes to hear me beg, Carl.
You know what? It's very famous that Opie, when comics would come into Opie and Anthony, he could have bring them into the studio at any time. He'd make them sit outside for an hour and wait to come on. He's doing that to Cardiff now. He's wielding that same power to the potato.
I wield the same jokes.
So, I mean, really, you're no different than Colin Quinn or Rich Voss, in my opinion.
So proud. Joe Rogan's Rich Voss?
That's the one, yeah. Congrats to Rich Voss for being on Joe Rogan Experience. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you can support the show and participate in it, like Tim Bowinger coming in here, $5 says, last year I missed my connecting flight to Vegas and met Carl while he was starving and just got his burger. Hope this doesn't happen again this year. Tim, I still remember that. I'll never forget because I had not eaten all day. We were doing a meet and greet thing, and then we were doing shows and stuff like that. And finally I go to the food truck and I get some food and I'm starving. And I sit down, and as I'm biting, it's like, "Hey, Carl." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Can you just give me like 1 second?" That will not happen this year. I'll sneak away and hide from everyone as I eat.
Fetch lands are lands that can be sacrificed to search their controller's library for a land of a specific basic land type, aside from allowing multicolored decks to selectively play a desired color.
In Onslaught, a new cycle of fetch lands was introduced. Each of these lands enter the battlefield untapped in contrast to their Mirage counterparts.
Thanks, Lady Scry. Appreciate that. Goat Mouth coming in. Sorry, Jake Hudson, but I qualify as an R word 3 times over, and Carl has my blessing to use R word, Chris too. Even in YouTube titles, though, I think that's where the problem came up.
Well, that's retarded.
Jake.
You're a musician. You can use the Latin language however you like.
I love it. Jake Hudson's a retardendo. Hellraiser. Hey, easy on Rob. He's had it rough. Never mind. I'm back to hating him. That's how quick it happens.
Has he had it rough? Does he have a background I don't know about?
Yeah, he made terrible decisions in his life, and then everyone in his family left him, and his cousin decided to start banging his wife, and now he feels like he's a victim.
He might
Tell
be
us
the
all the
only literal cuck in the Dabbleverse.
You're right. Well, there is Aaron Imholt. I don't pay attention to him as much, but yeah, Rob's up there.
One of two.
Jay Loiterer says, Rob is so below mattering. He is desperate for insulting super chats and never says anything remotely interesting. Ignoring him completely would be the best, in my humble opinion. Love WATP. Jay Loiterer, noted.
Yeah, might be
Adam's
right.
been having some fun, but I'm with you on that.
Do I need to draw paperwork?
No, we're not doing papers this time. There will be no accord. Manifest Destiny Soul, thank you very much. Queef in the Night. Rob is gay bashing. He has a lapdog named Dior.
Dior.
Or
whatever. I don't know. It could be anything. But,
Dior might be the only heterosexual thing Carl has ever said. Mispronouncing that.
Oh, that's the only one, huh?
The only thing.
The worst. All right. Speaking of the worst.
Let's do it.
Let's get into it.
That was the name of the episode.
Ba, 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 ba.
So as I mentioned, Sunday night, it was the triumphant return of Anthony and Jim Norton to the New York City airwaves on ABC. And Monday morning, I go to Opie's channel. I'm like, Opie's going to address this. The two former co-hosts, E-Rock was there too, just did a show together, reminiscing about the old days on Opie and Anthony, and the conversation ranged quite a bit. It's very interesting for Opie and Anthony fans, but even listeners to AM talk and political talk radio. And so I thought, what's Opie going to say about this? So I look at his stream. The stream is entitled Rory's Triumph, Slimy Carrots, and Dog Crap Burgers. Way to get the people what they want, Opie. This is why you're killing it right now. How many people went to go see, like, if Opie would react or respond to this or something, and just nothing. Go figure. So Anthony put out a video on the flight back home from New York. He's in first class, and there is a crying baby. And so he puts out a video showing where it's like, hey, look at me, I'm sitting in first class, and this is annoying AF for everyone to enjoy. And Opie jumped on this. He couldn't wait to make a little video making fun of Anthony for it.
Well, an obvious down.
Hold on a second. I'm not sharing this with everyone right now. Let me get on that. Those Rob videos threw me off for a minute.
Just do it.
I'm doing it. Here we go.
Well, an obvious downside to dating young.
So that's the video that Opie put out, where you see Anthony making the faces about the crying baby. Opie does the downside to dating young, and then kissy faces for some reason. Do you understand the kissy face thing, Cardiff?
Yeah, you do that with a baby, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
See, Opie won this when this was just a tweet.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that here's the tweet where Anthony tweeted this video out, and Opie quote retweeted it and said, one of the downsides of dating young. And everyone's just like, great tweet, Opie. And you even read the comments and like, got him. Nice.
The Destroyer's back.
Right.
That was his drop the mic moment.
Yep. And he had to make a fucking video with the exact same joke. The exact same joke. He had made a video of it too.
Hopester.
What's he doing? Why did he feel compelled to do that? And then Kevin Brennan watched Opie's video. And let's get Kevin Brennan's hot take on it. Because if I know one thing about Kevin, he excels at reaction videos. Mm-hmm. He's really good at it.
Well, an obvious downside to dating young.
Romeo looks old and ugly at this angle.
Genius.
Kevin is the worst at this. It's like, do you want to talk about what Opie just said and what this means for the relationship and going forward and the back and forth they've been having, especially the last couple of months?
What kind of plane is this?
Delta. I like Delta. I'm a frequent flyer. What the fuck? He's terrible. So this is Anthony's response. Anthony went on his show and responded to the Opster's hilarious joke.
And so I posted that on X, and then Opie commented on it and said, well, that's what happens when you date younger girls, something to that. You know, maybe you should date older girls, whatever it was. But it's a good joke. It's funny. I'll give him that. It's relevant, kind of funny. So it's fitting, you know. Jimmy was making those same jokes Sunday night on the show. And, you know, I'm not against a little self-deprecating or someone else deprecating humor. But I was very surprised. I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. That ain't too shabby. Good one. One thumb up for the Opster.
Finally got one of the Opie column.
Literally showing you, and we talk about this all the time, the guys who hate that we talk about them, we're literally giving them advice all the time. Anthony is demonstrating how to handle something like this. Opie makes a joke, and, you know, it's a ridiculous joke because a baby would be a little younger than what Anthony's into.
Anthony was nice enough to demonstrate how to do a walking around Manhattan video.
Oh, that was hilarious. But so Anthony was great because he actually had real facts and new stuff.
Absolutely.
Wasn't informative with it. But yeah,
he was in front of the camera. Yeah, amazing.
That's very funny. And and Opie wouldn't come on and just go, that was pretty good. I do the same kind of thing. And the way Anthony did, he wasn't doing an impression of Opie. He was just doing his version of what that would look like. But Opie would never give credit. Anthony's showing right now, like, look at how easy this is to just absorb a thing that you know is a joke that other people have found humor in. Like that video that Anthony put out's got tens of thousands of views on it. It's hilarious. Because it's not really real content. It's just making fun of what Opie does. And so here's how you handle this sort of thing. Opie will never learn. He'll never understand this. Or maybe he will. Maybe Cardiff will help him out.
Yeah.
Cardiff could be the same.
Help me help you, Opie.
Yes. So, as we know, Opie has gotten a lot of criticism for the way he runs his show. Doesn't seem to have any kind of format. And it was interesting. We played a clip from the old Opie and Anthony show where he predicted that Anthony would someday be a political talk show host. And he goes, and I'll go back to spinning records. And we went, well, one of those things came true. Well, Opie decided on the recent live stream here to like, hey, I'm going to show off. I'm pretty good at spinning records. I'm going to go back to that. That's how he starts his show.
Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. We're going to get things going with a little song from the Opie and Anthony show, starting out a little differently today. Remember the band Train? Well, they came in and they performed Ramble On by Led Zeppelin, and I think this is a perfect way to start today's live stream. Check it out. All right? All right.
Leaves are falling all around.
So he literally just lets this video play while you're still looking at Opie watching it over to the side. So he's trying out this new format. He's like, oh, spin some tracks throughout the morning show. Get people excited about that. Every morning DJ loves to be told they have to play music during the show. You guys are talking too much. We got to get at least 3 or 4 songs in every hour. So Opie's fulfilling that wish from this mystery PD, which is good. And then later on in the show.
But Carl, why, if you have the entire library of every recorded piece of music ever, is it just a clip from the Opie and Anthony show? Like, if he wants to play music, play anything. Why play something you were already?
I'm just glad it wasn't mustard.
Cardiff, it's just a coincidence.
I'm just glad I'm sure it'll happen. But this is somebody sent this to him. He found it or something. I'm just glad he's not playing mustard singing "I'm a Creep." Oh God.
Doesn't
Opie
Howard
tries-
Stern have a famous relationship with the lead singer of Train?
That's
He's one
true.
of his guys. He's always on there.
That's
I thought
true.
Opie was a tastemaker. Why isn't he allowed to listen to or reference anything past the 90s?
It's a good point.
Why can't he find a new band at Get
Well, I'm glad you said that because there's a super chatter who brings up another band that's even better than Train that he should be checking out.
Detroit Dabbler. The Isotopes are better than Train. Check them out. All right. I don't know who the Isotopes are. Detroit Dabbler. Do I know who they are? Are you like? Is this a troll? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. But thanks for the $1.99. Okay. All right.
I thought I was going to end that with you're blocked anyways.
Well, you saw his instincts kick in there.
Yeah.
He's just like, the Isotopes. Oh, wait a second. Is this one of those things that I should know, but I don't know? And people are going to laugh at me.
I think he's like this with everything in his life.
Yeah.
I think he orders food and they call back to double check the order. And he's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Do you know what a dabbler is? I think,
Right.
yeah, this is a
he's
lifestyle
paranoid.
for him.
He's
Mhm.
paranoid. Thank you, Detroit Dabbler. Appreciate the Isotopes mentioned on there. But you brought up blocking. There is so much blocking on this episode. This is just one live stream, and he can't help himself.
I got blocked. LOL. Oh, and you're this guy too? Yeah. Let me block this account too. Goodbye. There's a guy. He just trolls. He just like he watches everybody that's attempting to do something with their live streams. Like, believe it or not, I'm attempting to do something with my live streams. And then this loser then finds the 1 minute to 30 seconds that sucks and clips it, and that's his whole YouTube channel. So he made the mistake. I blocked him, and then he made the mistake to pop back in with his alt account. So I blocked that too.
There, you're winning.
Yeah.
You got him.
That was your fatal mistake, buddy.
Yeah. I believe he's talking about Stella 19. Who else could he be talking about? I guess I don't know all the clip shows, but
John says the same thing. He says, they just pick the 1.5 minutes of dead time during my 3-hour stream, and they use that as an example of what I'm doing. They know that's not true, right?
I don't know if they do, because Opie says this over and over again. It's like anyone could Jocktober anything. Anyone could find one embarrassing moment and make fun of it. But Opie's being disingenuous there if he does believe that, because the way Jocktober worked, and we've kind of kept the same formula, is that Sam Roberts would listen to the most recent episode of the radio show and then go, yeah, so yesterday this is what their morning show was. And then the fugitive would show up and then I'll lose their fucking minds. Like, holy shit. But that was the fun part about it. It's not like he was sifting through every episode to find that one part. He'd pull one episode and pull a bunch of clips from it. I'm like, that's what I'm doing right now with Opie. This is his most recent live stream.
Can you imagine if it was that focused on the
Right.
real shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was doing the Anthony wrap-up show every Monday morning, I think everyone that tunes into WABC would want to see it. I think Kumia would start talking about it and responding to it, and he would be relevant and involved in this thing.
And he knows he can't do it. And that's the funny part is he says he'd be the best at it, and he knows he can't do it, which is why he doesn't. And that's why he has to go on and block people like Unique, who shows up in his chat quite a bit.
Anyway, Kyle, I will, you know what? Let's just get rid of him. Let's just block user. Goodbye, Kyle. I don't need you. Yeah, I'm not purposely, I'm not doing the O&A stuff that much. If you're here to do O&A stuff, you're going to be very, very disappointed. Okay.
Really?
That is disappointing.
I was hoping we'd see some O&A Train performances, and you satisfied me.
He did. Yeah, he did open with Opie and Anthony right there, and then goes, what are we talking about, Opie and Anthony? Yeah, you started it, honestly. So this is always a good sign. You know someone's on the right track when they're blocking everyone who's in the chat.
Yeah.
And it continues on later on in the show.
Holy crap, you're clueless about politics. Okay. You're the guy that, let's just get rid of you. No, I'm not clueless about politics. See, you're clueless about politics, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why this guy right here before I block him. I'll tell you why you're clueless.
You think I'm bad at arguing? I think you're bad at arguing.
It's a block party weekend.
For real.
2 for Tuesday.
If you don't agree with somebody's political take, the one thing you say is they're clueless about politics. That's what makes America great for real.
Okay.
What makes America great for real is the pushback. It's the pushback. And whether your side is in charge or not in charge, what makes America great and what makes American politics great is the pushback.
He got this from Brother Weeze. He has no idea what he's talking about. So the word politics doesn't mean either liberal or conservative. When someone says you're clueless about politics, they mean you don't understand the issues, you don't know the players, you couldn't understand why some people would want this and other people would want that, and you can't articulate any of those things. That's what being clueless about politics is. But Opie is clueless about politics, so he just goes, oh, because you like Trump? Oh, you think I'm clueless because you like Trump and everything Trump does?
No, it's because we've heard the words that come out of your mouth.
Yes, it's because we know you're clueless about politics. And every time you try to discuss the subject matter, you prove that.
He was just blocking the previous people that said things he didn't like. He said he's going to block this person as soon as the chat came up. And then he summed it all up by saying he loves this pushback and it's what makes America great.
Okay. And that's not true. The pushback is what makes Doggy Style great.
See what you did there? The Rob Saul segment was earlier in the show.
I didn't mean that.
I know. I understand what Tom is saying.
And while we're speaking about Rob Saul, Opie, I put together an entire...
Normal women is what I meant.
Yeah.
I put an entire package together of Rob Saul responding to us from earlier in the week that became irrelevant because he started talking about us last night. So we just scrapped that and went with this. Didn't think twice about it. Can you imagine doing that kind of preparation? You wouldn't have to answer all these offensive to you questions.
You might notice I've not blocked anyone during the show. I'm sure there's asshats like VTL sock accounts that are in the chat or were in the chat. But because I have a show prepped and because I'm not paying attention to the chat, I don't know that it's happening and it's not bothering the show or fucking with the flow in any way. And let me say this last thing about Opie's understanding of what politics is and clueless about politics is the same as Stuttering John, where John is clueless about politics. He doesn't know anything that's going on. He only regurgitates what he hears the people he agrees with or thinks he agrees with say. And so he would think the same way, like, oh, you think I'm clueless? Oh, you must be a Trump supporter. Like, no, even the things I agree with you on, I don't think you understand why they're good or why you like them.
Yeah, I want to take my political advice from someone who doesn't think gerrymandering is a person.
Can we book this gerrymandering, please?
He's up to no good.
Speaking of politics, I should say, I will be on the Blaze Network. I'm going to go on Normal World with Dave Landau on the May 27th, Tuesday after Memorial Day. And then on May 28th, I'll be on Prime Time with Alex Stein. So I'm very excited about that, traveling to Dallas to see those folks and check out Glenn Beck's facilities down there.
Nice.
In Texas. Should be a lot of fun.
See the All in the Family chair.
Oh, that's right. He's got a crazy collection.
He's got a whole insane collection. You got to check that out.
I will definitely check that out. All right. This is a fun one because Greg just gets distracted by the chat and then he realizes he shouldn't be engaging with them.
Dude guy. Good morning, dude guy. Good morning, John. 3,000 a show, Greg. You suck. I have no idea what that means, John.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, John? John, what do you... it doesn't matter what you're trying to say.
Oh, you see how he figured it out?
Yep.
What do you even mean by that? I don't know. I don't.
That?
I don't care.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Yeah. It's an amazing process.
I suck. What are you trying to say?
Also, now that Anthony is syndicated in over 20 markets, it's, I think, much more than 3,000 a show, but still a very funny point. It doesn't seem like Opie does a lot of stuff. The fact that his wife sends him out for envelopes.
I forgot about that.
These envelopes. What do you need them for?
She doesn't need them.
She doesn't. She's like, hey, can you go to the store and get envelopes? She's trying to find something that'd be hard to find.
Yeah. Left-handed monkey wrench.
Yeah, maybe you have to go to a couple different places.
Do you think they've kept Amazon hidden from him all these years? So he thinks anything they need, he has to go out and get and find.
It's like how you lock down porn sites for the kids. They have to lock down Amazon and eBay.
There's a reason they didn't let him into Costco with them.
I agree. I agreed back then.
Yeah. All right, I'm starting to come around on this theory. All right, it's making some sense. But we always wonder, like, what does Opie do? Because he does these streams in the morning. He does Gebhard's like on Tuesdays and sometimes Wednesdays. Walks around the streets a little bit. So now we're going to find out what a crazy week is for the Opster.
I can't wait. I got a busy week too. I gotta fly in a couple days. I'm going to my nephew's wedding. You know, he's getting married the day before Easter. So this week is very, very hectic. I got kids that are still into the Easter thing. So we're running around trying to get Easter ready. Then we fly to do a wedding, and then I'm on a red eye. I'm on a red eye Sunday morning, first thing, so I could celebrate Easter with the family. So it's good. It's a crazy week to say the least.
That was two things you mentioned. Two things. One of them
haven't happened yet.
Yep. One of them you said many times. It's still just a flight. I would call my grandmother in Queens, who lived alone in her 80s, and ask her how her week was. And it was the same response. It was like, well, there's this one thing coming up, and that's kind of taking up all of my time because I'm 80 and retired. Opie, having a flight in a couple days is not a busy week.
I flew back home yesterday. I haven't brought it up yet.
It's for a bonus show.
Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. The fact that he's got Easter on Sunday and a wedding to go to. It's just
And he has to take a red eye.
This week is, well, I don't think he understands what red eye means. Because he said
first thing Sunday morning.
First thing Sunday morning. That's not what a red eye is.
No.
A red eye is overnight. But he's got to get up early and then get out. But he gets up early every day. So what's the difference? He's going to be at the airport before they open. So he'll be outside knocking on the door. How does the airport open?
And the red eye is actually a desirable flight in New York City because it's late at night and you don't have to deal with the traffic, and it's just a little easier.
But that's not what he's doing. He's going to get up Sunday morning, first thing.
Because they care about Easter?
Because Easter is so important. And
To his adult children?
Yeah, this is such a busy week. Well, he doesn't have adult children. They're still in school. And he does talk about that a little bit, why this is important. But trying to get Easter ready, I think I saw Melton pull this clip, and I also have to jump on him for this one.
But that's it. We're in it, as I like to say, we're in it to win it. We're trying to get Easter ready, and then it's a wedding. I had 2 weddings this year. You know, when you get older, you kind of age out of going to weddings in general. You get a nice gap. Remember when you were going to a wedding every weekend? Your whole summer was one wedding after another, and then you get like a reprise, let's call it, for like a good 10, 15 years. There have been no weddings, and now
I like that he goes, a reprise. Like, that's not the word.
That's French.
a reprise, let's call it. Why don't we just call it the actual word?
A Febreze.
Let's air it out with a Febreze for a moment.
What a maroon.
Yeah, it's not great.
He doesn't need the red eye. He needs the black mouth.
This is, again, the Opster is looking for content, so he's trying to stretch out this. Guys, remember when we used to go to weddings every weekend, and now I got to fly. I got to travel to an airport, go through security, and then get on an airplane. Like, yeah. Oh, we know. We all do all of these things all of the time. And it's amazing that we're all pulling it off without bitching about it on our shows. Because
think of the content we're going to get.
Well, the bitching continues on later on in the show.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's get married Easter weekend. That shouldn't inconvenience anyone. Well, it's it's a bit problematic. I'm not going to lie to you, because it's one of these weddings where you got to fly to, because everyone was from up here, and now my nephew lives down there, so now we all got to fly there. And there's a lot of people that aren't going to make the wedding because it is Easter, because everybody has kids. It's tough. We decided, because it was a tough decision, but we decided that I would go down and represent. My wife would stay here, make sure Easter's good. I'm going to roll in Easter morning, tired as all hell because the wedding is Saturday.
I'm glad, Adam, you picked up on that. It started with I don't know how we're going to be able to juggle all of this. We got a wedding. We got Easter coming up on Sunday. And then you find out the wife's got it.
Mm-hmm.
The wife's going to take care of Easter.
She told me to pick up some stamps on the way home.
She's got to buy a Cadbury egg and some Peeps and put it in a basket. Color a hard-boiled egg.
Nothing more stressful than flying by yourself.
I know. Like, all of this sounds perfect. You get to go to the wedding by yourself and hang out with your family. She's home taking care of the Easter and the kids and getting that all prepped. Like, what are we complaining about?
The only thing that seems to be consistent is they do not want to spend any time with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you know what would be great is if you went to that wedding and left a couple days early. When was the last time you were in Florida?
Are you sure?
Yeah. But he catches himself here because he realizes that it sounds like he's bitching about a wedding he's about to go to on the internet, which could be frowned upon.
And the only reason he even caught that it was, being negative is because the chatter started to mimic his kind of put upon sentiment. Hey, now you calm down. Let's be nice about this. It's my nephew. Okay, we didn't need to know it was your nephew. You hadn't mentioned that before. Now you're letting us know that. Great.
But Adam, don't you think there's going to be at least a person at this wedding who watches this and sees that he's bitching up a storm about it?
Not one.
Oh, okay. I would think a family member might, but maybe not. So this is where he checks himself.
And then the other problem with this, Vincent, by the way, that makes it very problematic. It's a wedding that's the day before Easter. I'm not bitching, by the way. This is what people do all the time. I got married really close to Thanksgiving. I don't have a leg to stand on.
Oh, well, there you go, Opie.
I wish his nephew would chat. Go fuck yourself, Uncle Opie.
Hey, Uncle Greg, don't bother coming.
Yeah, you're off the hook.
Yeah. Fuck off. Is Easter that big? I don't know. Maybe it is. He was talking. I don't think I pulled the clip. He's talking about how the kids are getting older. This is going to be the last holiday where the kids care about the holiday.
How can you gauge that?
Exactly.
And he's not going to be there for the holiday, right? He's going to be away at this
He'll
wedding,
be back
correct?
in time. He's taking that early morning red eye.
Oh, okay.
To be back for the Easter festivities. So you saw him block Unique, Kyle, when he was asking questions about Anthony or Opie and Anthony or something. He said, we're not talking about that. So the question I always ask is, okay, then what are we talking about? And here's the answer.
Richie Rich, who the man, 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 who the man. Man, who the man today? Is it Kate Beckerts, or however you say her name? She was the first pick in the WNBA draft. She's going to your Dallas Wings. I didn't even know the name of the team was the Dallas Wings, but Paige, I should say. Paige Beckerts. She was the number one pick in the WNBA. Is she the man today? Is she the man?
Why do you talk that way?
It's a perfect drop because we'll get back to who the man and what that even means. But listen, check out this. And this is just a free chat that Opie puts up on the screen.
Hey, dude, can you do your funny voices? You're very talented. All right, thank you. Are you trying to make fun of me because I get silly with my voices? Really? Is that supposed to be a sick burn?
It's not a sick burn. The guy wrote it in the chat and you put it up on the screen. So he's doing the who the man thing. And I love anytime any guy, and I'm guilty of this too. So don't go back and look through the archives, Cardiff. Anytime any guy talks about the WNBA, they have to say, I don't know that. So she got drafted by the Dallas Wings. I don't even know. Dallas, what is that, a city? I don't even know.
Dicks in my butt.
But you notice that? That's always a disclaimer. As soon as you start talking about the WNBA, I mean, it was on ESPN. I don't care. I wasn't even paying attention. I've never watched a game, but apparently there's Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry. I know too much. I apologize.
They'll do it with everything. They do it with every clip they've seen. They always say the exact title of what it is they're talking about and then say, or whatever, I don't even know.
Right. That who the man thing, I'm confused by what that means. Because then he's like talking about the first round draft pick for the WNBA. So then we find out what who the man is.
So is El Salvador the man? Is Trump the man? Is that prisoner sitting in that horrific prison the man? No.
So who the man is just what's a big news story today? It
Pretty
seems.
Much. Yeah, that's the gist of it. He's done this before.
Yeah.
He's good at it. He's a professional.
Why is that called who the man? Is it El Salvador the man? No.
Because you want to shout out the man on your show.
If you want to get into topics.
Does this come from Brother Weeze?
Oh, I don't think so, but I could be. If you want to get into topics, then like what are the most important issues today? What are we talking
Who
about?
the topics?
Who the topics? Right. Who are these topics? Right.
What keeps you up at night, Opie?
What keeps you up at night?
I'm thinking giving it to Wendy's. Is Wendy's the man?
No.
Is Starbucks the man because profits are down? I told you, Starbucks, you idiots. You let the quality of your coffee go. You focused on sugary drinks. You focused on basically having a supermarket when real coffee drinkers want to get their coffee pronto. No real coffee lover wants to sit in a line to get coffee. I tried to tell Starbucks this a million years ago. They didn't want to listen.
He tried to tell Starbucks.
Hello, Starbucks.
Yeah. Why is no one listening to me?
It's like Stuttering John talking to YouTube.
Right. My favorite part about that, he goes, I tried to tell Starbucks this a million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean back when they were a growing company that was just way more successful every year that went on? You were telling them they were doing it wrong?
Yeah.
There's a reason why they didn't listen to you, Opie. And they seem to do very well without your advice.
And is this Mondays?
I think this is yesterday's.
I was just kind of thinking it was a Who the Man Monday.
No. Monday he was talking about dog poop sandwiches.
It's just like a Stuttering John thing where somebody says something and they have to make this sound in response. And I thought that was always just like wet brain simpleton stuff. But it turns out it's just I don't have a show to do response where somebody says something, you make that sound, and now we've killed 30, 15 seconds.
Yep.
My question is, why is he so? Why does he give himself the ability to, he allows himself to criticize Starbucks and explain to them how their business model works? But if we make any comment about like broadcasting in front of an open window, we're assholes that need to be blocked and we're haters. You're allowed to explain to this coffee company how to do it. You know, I have an open window right there. It shows a beautiful, beautiful ocean with Hawaii, but that's not why people are tuning in. There's a whole show that Carl has worked on that I'm hoping will be more interesting than a palm tree, Opie. And why is your mouth black? Have you answered that at all?
What is going on with the mouth? Because
it's too early.
Yeah, you could tell that's bothering him as he's watching this. He won't stop drinking red wine out of his coffee mug, but it is bothering him.
Is it red wine? Is that what it is? It's the only
explanation. A lot of people are speculating that that's what's going on. I don't know.
Well, if it's not that, it's a serious bacterial infection and he needs to see a doctor.
Yes, there is a problem there for sure. But these noises that he makes during the show that you were pointing out there, Adam, I have a clip that I think might need to go on the board, producer Chris.
That would be annoying. That would absolutely be annoying.
Good stuff. Let's talk about Katy Perry. You know, Katy Perry was just in space. This is big news. And Opie can't stop himself from singing, of course.
Baby, you're a firework. Oh, my God. Did she sing Firework?
Are you guys ready for an attempt at comedy from the Opester? I always like when he tries to be funny. So one of the recurring themes on this episode is he's talking about how they were in space for such little time. They go up there in space and they're right back out of space again. And so he's talking about Katy Perry's boobs. They used to be up here.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're a little bit more down here, but not in outer space.
When she was floating around for that, 5 seconds, she was staring at her boobs, going, oh, my God, they used to look like this all the time. They used to, hey, Gail, they used to look. And Gail's like, why am I up here with this dummy? Why couldn't Oprah go? Why is Oprah scared?
I didn't see. Did you guys already see that clip or something? I didn't see you guys laughing hysterically. Cardiff, you probably already saw that.
Yeah, I was watching.
All the shows pulled that.
Yeah. Drinking from his Zen mug. He's upset about Katy Perry's boobs.
Pretty good stuff.
You say anything about Opie's eyes and you get blocked. But he can say whatever he wants about anybody.
Yeah. There's been some funny AI art that I've seen come out of Opie doing his live stream. His eyes are just closed. He's commented on himself, actually. So I have one more clip on here for Opie. And I think this really explains why Opie has the worst show of anyone who came from Opie and Anthony. Go down the list. Everyone who used to be on Opie and Anthony and what they're doing now, they're all doing better than Opie. And this sums up why.
My whole life, I swam against the current. That's where I like to live. When everybody is doing this, everyone's doing this, I'm like trying to swim against the current. I don't know if that's a good way to live your life or a bad way, but that's how I've always lived my life. When I see everyone doing one thing, I'm like, okay, I can't do that thing anymore. That's why I got people, they're like, we get in a goddamn, real studio and do a real show. I'm like, no, that's what everybody else is doing. I don't want to do that. Everyone's doing that. That bores me to tears.
Oh, Opie's bored. Okay. Otherwise, to pull these clips, but you're bored. I see how it's going. So Opie says, no, I go against the grain. I swim upstream. I'm different than everyone else. Now, that does work for certain pioneers of industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly Steve Jobs didn't do what everyone else would have done running Apple. He said, no, I'm going to focus on the smartphone thing. And it turned out to be a very intelligent move. No one else was really doing that.
I won't get proper treatment for cancer, but I'll focus on this.
So it doesn't always work out real well. Sometimes if the vast majority of people are doing a thing, it's like, oh, that must be the thing that you should do that, like in a studio and run a proper show and try to put some effort into your podcast and prep for it.
But doesn't Opie understand that criticizing people for being sheep, for following what everyone does and saying they don't have their own minds, when you say, I just do the opposite of what everyone does, that's the same thing. You have no opinion, and your decisions are made by others.
Yeah, that's a good point. His chat runs his show, and what everyone else does runs his life, because he has to do the opposite of it.
At what point do you exist, Opie, and have an opinion or a feeling or a thought that you can own? Does it ever happen?
And I think there's more people doing shows like Opie does than people doing shows in a studio.
Yeah, that's a good point. George Costanza did this, but it's a joke. It's a goof. What if I just do the opposite of everything? In a sitcom, that could work out for you.
Yeah.
In real life, not so much. All right, we're wrapping things up. We got a game coming up here. We got Annie coming in. We have some voicemails to get to, a teaser. But first, I want to thank you guys for supporting the show. Supertip.gg/WATP. Anonymous coming in says, the Isotopes better than Train. Okay, that was funny. Listen, it's not fair. They have a singer. They have a good singer. So
yeah, they have an extra instrument.
we're at a disadvantage.
The best soy latte you ever had, and Carl.
Jay Woodard, $5 says, what would Opie do if Kumia invited him to come on the WABC show? I'm not doing that.
Go screw.
Yeah, there you go. That's the answer specifically. That would be amazing if they would do that.
Yeah, it would.
Think Opie has a price?
No. I don't think he would put a price on it, because then he would have to do it.
Yep.
Because Anthony would pay it, or someone would. Harpua, $5 says, I keep saying they're getting separated, and now separate vacations. Poor Opie.
Oh, no.
And Tom Pestergaard. Hold on. The famous Opie killing the moment, stopping the flow. Speaking of stopping the flow, Annie is here.
Never.
What's up, Annie?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Are you ready to play a show with us?
Play a show?
2 minutes with Tom. I'm ready to lose.
Play a game show, I should say. Thank you. Let's play a game. I've been on here a long time. I don't normally do streams this long.
It's your fault.
There's a good no shit. There's a good reason for it. All right, let's do it.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, 2 Minutes with Tom. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? And Adam Bush, are you ready to find the bomb? Playing 2 Minutes with Tom.
In a previous life, I was a traveling stand-up comedian. Would do shows out and about. I'd be on the road everywhere. Okay, just wanted to take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the bread and butter. So, yes, but in recent years, like the work at this baseball complex where I work has been steady, and I basically make a pretty kick-ass amount of money on the weekends, sitting on my ass, watching sports and talking into a microphone.
Talking like $20, $30?
That is a nice escape from all of this bullshit that I do. So I'm making an executive decision because I start on Friday nights and they wrap up through to Sunday afternoon. I'm making an executive decision. Breaking news. TM Zumach this, clip this. Yeah, nobody's really going to give a shit, but there will be no more Friday shows for now. For now, I'm just going to do Mondays and Wednesdays. I might alter the schedule a little bit, but I think I'm allowed to do that.
Hold on. He starts Friday nights, so he can no longer do Friday mornings for his live stream that he puts zero effort into?
Too much bullshit.
Wow.
Too much bullshit.
Fridays are too much for him.
I think I'm allowed to do that because I'm just starting.
No.
And like I said, I'm just trying to find my way around here. I don't really consider this a podcast. I don't really consider this.
It's not.
Like
we don't either.
This is by no means a professional show.
Correct.
Like I'm not sure why everybody seems to be hung up on that concept. Why is he?
What is it with all of these idiots that they all go, I'm not even trying to put out a good show? Then stop.
Show.
What's the fuck's the point then if you're not even trying to make it good? How recent is this, by the way, Cardiff?
This is like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, this is back when he still couldn't figure out his microphone worked.
On that concept, why is he live streaming? He's not coming on and doing anything. I mean, I am coming on here with something to say.
And that is
also
no more Fridays.
The fun of this for me is
what did Tom say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, having a platform where I control the trolls. B, all the new dick pics I get on Blue Sky. Next, getting to talk to y'all in person. 4, watching my watch hours climb higher and higher. And lastly, not having to deal with Maryland drivers in the morning. 2 minutes with Tom.
Oh, he does love referencing the hometown and the state. This is a tough one. This could be a lot of these. I'm going to go with next, getting to talk to y'all in person. What say you, Ambush?
I say, Cardiff, why won't you list me as a person when doing these introductions? Why is it always ladies and gentlemen and Adam? What are you trying to say?
Ask Rob Saul.
Wow.
He won't answer any of my questions directly. I'm trying very hard. But I have to go with one. It just it's one or lastly, but I'll say a platform to troll the trolls because he really thinks he's getting one over on everyone.
Yeah, I love that one. What do you think, Annie?
Letter 4.
Watching my watch hours climb higher and higher. I like that one as well. Producer Chris?
I went with 1. Adam spelled it out already.
All right. Let's go.
But also, the fun of this for me is just getting to talk to y'all in person, in real time, which I find enjoyable for the most part. Like, I'm kind of surprised because as much hate and shit as I've caught online, like, the amount of positive feedback I get in this chat
is,
and even from some other figures within this universe, has been like largely supportive, I think.
Wait,
for lack of
did you say the amount of positive feedback I get?
It's been largely supportive. Yes.
He said, I think.
Yeah.
The majority of the positive feedback has been
What was going on through his head every insult he reads through that thing? He's like, oh shit! Well, there was
chat
that.
right in front of him, live in real time.
Pictures you going.
And this shows you how lonely he is. I don't know what he thinks talking to people in person means anymore.
Right.
I don't know what he thinks talking to people is, because that's not talking. That's saying, that's all he's doing.
Yeah.
I gotta back that up a little bit. That's funny.
Great.
Talking to people for him is how many are in your party?
Amount of
even celebrating anything?
Like the amount of positive feedback I get in this chat.
Yep.
And even from some other figures within this universe has been like largely supportive, I think.
See, that should end with overwhelming. The amount of positive feedback I'm getting in this chat
Has been
has been fantastic. It's been beyond my expectations. Like all these things, just like that's
Supportive? Question mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, after I introduced my candidacy for the President of the United States, the response has been supportive?
Questionable.
Supportive, I think.
Maybe.
For lack of a better term.
This episode has been brought to you by Hackamania.com. Go to Hackamania.com right now and use promo code CUM to save 10% on your tickets. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, CUM stands for Cardiff's Ultimate Money Savers. There's some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's CUM.
That's
Sit, Eugene,
gross.
sit. Good dog.
The great Cardiff Electric, everyone.
Yeah, I wish he was here now.
Another fantastic game.
Promo code CUMBUSH for 20% off.
Whoa.
Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true, to be honest. Guys, we've done a lot today. In fact, I'd say we've done it all. So you know what that means. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser.
The teaser.
The teaser.
This Saturday at 2 p.m., we do this all over again. Another live episode of Who Are These Podcasts that you can watch if you're on our Patreon or our YouTube channel. You get the link to that. And you can watch the podcast that we'll be reviewing with this man.
Your podcast stinks. Your podcast stinks.
That's right. Pat Oates will be back on the show. It's been a minute. So we've had our buddy Pat Oates on. Yes. So we're looking forward to that. Tune in for that. And of course, you can always listen to podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts. It's just click follow, subscribe, whatever the terminology is on your podcast player. We come out with 2 episodes of WTP every single week. Adam Bush was here. He is in Hawaii right now.
Mm-hmm.
Aloha.
It's beautiful outside.
Mahalo.
It's daytime.
Mm-hmm.
And you're inside with us doing a show.
I have a lot of, just inner work I need to do as a person.
No, I'm thanking you for this. I
I
appreciate it.
What I'm doing
I think you're doing the right thing. I'm praising you for this.
No, it seemed like you were calling him a loser for being with losers.
No.
That's what I heard.
Oh, no, I think it was the fact that I was up at 2 a.m. chatting Rob Saul that put me in that category by choice.
That part, yeah. You need to rethink that part.
Uh-huh.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
It's not. And it's isolating me from my family and my friends, but at least I have you guys. Oh, God.
Rob, you want to pull a clip? Here's the clip to pull right here. This fucking loser is making fun of me. Mm-hmm. Fucking loser. Mm-hmm. Annie, I want to thank you for being here with us. Do we have any new reviews that you can read for us?
I got one for us.
Okay.
It's titled Listener Beware. If you are part of any marginalized community, please don't bother with this garbage podcast. Their logo is a trash can. Enough said. They find what they consider to be lower than them and have a field day making fun. Mansplaining for 90 minutes is not a podcast.
Woke Dad found our show and reviewed it.
90 minutes. I wish.
Yeah. There's a couple 90-minute podcasts today. Is that a 1-star review?
No, that's from Thank You, OJ, and it's 5 stars.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. It was too accurate to be.
Yeah. Wow, well done. I'm an idiot. Let's burn through some voicemails. People want to talk to us about stuff. And then we'll get out of here. We'll get everybody out of here. But thank you all for being here.
Let's get some pizza rolls.
What do you got coming up? You got your YouTube channel, Cardiff Elect?
Yes, but this Thursday will be members only. So join the Patreon, patreon.com/Cardiff Electric. We're watching Kenny versus Spenny.
Oh, sweet.
Love that shit.
Yeah, we're starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
Very good. And if you didn't catch it, I announced earlier in the show, June 21st, we'll be live in Boston with the Dick Show and Blind Mike. So save the date. We'll have tickets available soon. We'll have information available soon for everyone.
Cardiff, which people from that are going to Hackamania?
Not promo code COME.
Yes, everybody.
It's not.
Send
It's
Carl
not a
messages.
promo code.
Come. Boston tickets.
Yeah, come Bush. What about the people that bought tickets for OJ in the morning? Are they getting refunds, or how is that working?
The
people that are going to Hackamania just for OJ.
Out.
Yeah.
The problem seems to have figured itself out.
It turns out that was never a problem to begin with.
Turns out the guy that was going to see OJ at Hackamania isn't going to Hackamania anymore.
So OJ is who you're talking
No,
about.
because they offered me a flight, so I said I'd just go. Yeah, that's what happened.
We're going to miss you, OJ.
Oh, that Rex who was on Financial Audit is so fucking stupid. I've lived in Michigan my whole life, been smoking a pot out of regular since the late 80s. In 1994, a quarter ounce of premium marijuana probably cost you about $125 in 1994.
Sure.
In 2025, an ounce of premium marijuana costs you about $100 in the state of Michigan. The dispensary I go to does a 2-for-1 on Fridays, so I get 2 ounces for $100, which is about $12.50 per quarter ounce. If that guy wants to do a 72-plant farm indoors, he's in the wrong fucking state. He needs to go to a state where marijuana is still illegal. That guy's a fucking idiot. Love the show. See ya.
I don't purchase flour all that often. Is that true? You can get a Z for $100?
I pay 75.
Oh, fuck off. All right. Jesus Christ.
Depends on the quality, depends on the dispensary, depends on the city.
okay.
Yeah, you can get it for around 100, even less.
Wow.
How much is a half quarter? That's what everyone wants to know.
Half quarter.
There's no such thing.
It exists.
Carl, I just wanted to let you know that you're absolutely correct. Hey Jude does suck.
Yep. Agreed.
Carl, I don't know if you heard Ron White on Joe Rogan, but he mentioned losing Vic Henley to COVID early in the day. Us Opie radio truthers need to let him know what actually happened to Vic. It was not COVID. It was Opie.
Yeah, well, that is true. He wanted to go stay with Opie on Long Island, and Opie's like, nope, not going to happen. I don't think Vic died of COVID, though. I know.
Yeah, I thought it was before COVID.
Yeah, no, it was early in the pandemic because he did reach out to Opie when Opie left Manhattan, but I don't think it was from COVID. Jake Hudson, talked about him a lot on the show today. He called in for the first time.
Hey, what's up, Carl? It's Jake Hudson. How you doing? You know what? Love your show. First time caller, long time listener.
Good.
Love you, brother. When are you gonna have me on your show, Carl? And when are you coming on mine? Love what you do. Keep being you. And I have some great podcasts for you to roast if I come on. I'll do my research. Love you, brother. Peace, love, and cornbread, y'all. Love you guys.
All right, Jake. Thanks for calling into the show, buddy. We'll figure it out.
There's no way that was Jake. There was not a single, by the way.
Oh.
Not your not your worst
Conspiracy.
caller ever. Surprising.
Conspiracy theories going on around here. All right.
Hey, Carl, just wanted to say, no, I really enjoyed Clearwater Chat on WATP.
Oh, he got me.
Me too.
Got me with that one. I thought for sure there was a fan out there.
Carl Hamburger? You're a nothing burger, bitch. Bye for now.
Wow, that's a pretty sick burn.
Nothing burger.
Start
Yeah.
screening these.
I should start
Pretty
screening
tough.
this. Just stop curating them and putting them on my board to listen to. Here's a good idea for Judy's sign-off.
I just listened to Judy's call where she was talking about the fucking gun she owns or whatever the fuck. And Judy, you dumb bitch. How did you not end that call by saying, lock and load up? Fuck! Don't call me back.
All right, Judy, I hope you're listening. We need a lock and load next time.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's not bad. Here's a question about music.
Hey, fuckface Carl. I'm sitting here listening to this song. It's really good. And I just want to know your fucking opinion. And hey, producer Chris. Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
I love you. I want to know your opinion too.
Okay.
Machine Head, hallowed be thy name. Have you ever heard it? What's your facts? What do you think? Is it good? It better fucking be. Except for if you don't like it, producer Chris, that's okay. I understand. But Carl, if you don't like it, you a homo. Call me back. Love ya. Bye.
How Would Be Thy Name is an Iron Maiden cover.
I don't think it's a cover.
I think it is. I think Machine Head does a cover.
Of
Maiden's.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a Maiden song.
Sure.
But he's saying, what do you think about Machine Head?
I thought it was an album.
How
All right.
Would Be Thy Name?
Gotcha.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like what Iron
It's
Maiden
almost as good as the original.
Yeah, no, I did. I was watching the Machine Head do it. They were great. It sounds awesome. Can't go wrong with a little Maiden, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's heard about Stuttering John's new medical condition. Turns out he's got scoliosis.
It's pretty good.
I like it.
Yep. Producer Chris approved on that one. Cardiff looks concerned. I always assume when we watch Cardiff, because his eyes dart around a little bit, I bet he's got like 12 screens. Yeah, it's like in Batman at the end where they have the screens.
Yeah.
Entire Dabbleverse is in front of me right now.
I really think
wish.
so. He's just in his control panel, just monitoring everything that's going on.
It's surprisingly lackluster down here.
You're like, holy shit! Rob Saul has some dribble on the front of his pants. I gotta go.
Emergency episode.
And I picture Adam's just the opposite. He's just surrounded by books.
It's like the end of that Twilight Zone episode when he's alone in his library, but his glasses break.
Yeah.
That's Adam's life, unfortunately. All right. Let's talk about Dabble House a little bit. Okay.
Carl, the Dabble House content was superb. Kudos to you and the participants and contributors. A great many laughs there. I enjoyed it very much. While you were away from your other shows, however, a couple of events transpired. One being the fight between Melton and Moody on This Little Piggy was uproarious, far better than any of the Aaron coverage ever is. And secondly, on WATS, Blind Mike showing video of John Sarasani's daughter, and I was taken aback by the degree to which I would like to pork her. So if you would, please comment on these two events, the Moody Melton fight and the degree to which I would like to pork Sarasani's daughter. And I'll take my answer on the air.
All right, sounds good. Now, I did watch This Little Piggy when we got back to my house Friday night after doing the first night at Dabble House. And I did see their fight go on for nearly 30 minutes. The episode was 5 hours long. It was just the two of them. And it really is fantastic. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And as far as John Sarasani's daughter, I have a weird thing. When I see a guy that I dislike because of his personality or whatever, I don't find his offspring attractive. It's a weird thing, but like I'm sure she's hot. But I just look at her and I go, ugh, no.
I haven't heard pork as a verb in quite a while.
Wow.
And Lily Bell Melendez sighs a giant sigh of relief.
You don't have to worry about me. I will not be a problem.
Phew.
Oh, God. Because you see the face in there and you're like, oh, not good.
Hey, Carl, can you do me a favor? Anytime you talk about when you were skateboarding or when you worked at E-Bound's World or when Marissa Jones tried to ruin your life, can you play Glory Days? Oh, I want to shout out Review Girl Annie. What's up, dude? How big's your cock? Carl's too pussy to ask. Bye for now.
All right, you got it. That was a very rude call. How did that end up on the board?
How did Anthony handle talking to Jim about his wife and all that? I didn't get to hear it. What was that like? Did he address it? Did he mention it? I mean, I know it came up. They were there for hours.
Yeah, I mean, he's talked about Nikki a bunch. He's been on the show with Nikki. And,
he's taking shots like
and Jim.
in front of Jim. Like he's open to jokes.
He jokes about it the same way Jim jokes about it.
Yeah.
Oh, like a human being.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Like a person who cares about his friends.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And has
He can
different
still
views,
bust
but can
balls.
somehow exist with them. It's crazy.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, go figure. I mean, the fact that Jim married Nikki was not a surprise to anyone who wasn't Opie and Anthony. This has been going on for a while. All right, the perfect listener. I declare this person the perfect listener. Call us back into the show.
Oh, hello, Carl. It is I, the perfect listener. I do not know who this other claiming perfect is. He is bullshit, and I do not want to hear him. I am the perfect listener, ordained by Carl. Also, the Samoas are the best. Fuck you. And black licorice, Adam? Disc. Amazing. Go fuck yourself.
Did you have a hot take on black licorice? I forgot.
I hope
No, I don't care either way. I think
lose
it's
a lot of
racist
respect
thing.
for you if you did.
All right.
He had a similar
Adam.
reaction than Rob Saul had.
Adam, I gotta pull you aside. We're gonna have to have a quick meeting on the show. I don't normally do this, but you have to have a strong opinion about everything. That's what being a podcaster is. So when I say black licorice,
Especially if it's about food.
Oh yeah, especially like the flour versus
no.
tortilla.
Well, there's another rule he almost broke there, Carl. When there's a certain color of licorice in this network, you have to have a very strong opinion one way.
Let's try this again. Adam, what do you think about black licorice?
I think we owe it reparations.
Perfect. See, this fucking guy gets it.
I'm just towing the company line. That's all I know.
Very good. Speaking of corrections.
All right, Carl, KFT, I got a few bones to pick here. First of all, Styx does not suck, okay? You know what? You suck. There. Boom. Roasted. You know, they got great songs. You got Renegade, Love Stinks, The Heat Is On. I mean, great classic songs. So, yeah, they don't stink. You stink. Secondly, not everybody's a fucking boomer, okay? And another thing, while I'm on this kick, nobody sends notes. We've said this before, we're going to say it again. You got an email, you got a message. Jesus Christmas, Carl. Get it together. Go listen to Erica in your basement and do your march. And please, 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 for the love of God, don't call me back.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. All right. Alexa, order butt plush.
Half of these people every time for some reason. One last voicemail coming up. Styx does suck.
Only one more?
When
That guy-
you're down and out, there's one place you can go. It's called Las Vegas. Las Vegas. Carl Hamburger. Carl Hamburger. Hackamania. Hackamania.
The old Las Vegas song. It's a classic. And did you raise some money to gamble in Vegas yet?
Yes, thank you to you and some other people. I appreciate it. I'm sure I'm going to lose most of it, but I'm willing to, give it a shot.
Las Vegas needs that money. You know, those fountains don't build themselves. So it's very important that you go there and you lose everything that you've earned. I like to call it lost wages.
Did you just come up with that?
I know, am I great or what?
Wow, that's
Adam, this is where you go, holy shit, Carl, you just come up with that? See how Cardiff knew how to do that?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention at all.
Trucker Andy would have known what to do.
Yeah, I have a lot of notes for you.
So would crows, but you burned that bridge.
Whoa! All right. Oh, also, we don't talk about crows on this show. Adam, you know what? You're not having any vacation. We have a long meeting this evening that we have to get into.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's that? Kevin had a couple questions for you. He wants to come here. Is that okay? Is it that time?
All right. I think it is a good time.
Script. You just got ambushed.
I gotta go. Bye. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Okay, bye.